the bottles getting empty up the crack and we stacking chips. All of it's what I want. Plus money winners, that's what I'm on. You can say I'm gone. I prefer elevated pub sports radio. Time to get educated, get produced. Leave the juice, letting loose with so much abuse that the bookies wanna call a truce. They getting slaughtered. Can't forget Jeff and low baggers in the chat. That's a lethal weapon to be pubbing.
Okay, hi everyone. Welcome to Pub Sports Radio. Sorry, we're a teeny bit late. It is the Tuesday show. Once again, we do this every Tuesday. Oh, try to turn that light off in the back. Jose Bouquet, sorry about that. I see that back there. Yeah, Tuesday. You know, we're running a little bit late. We have a good time here. We have a good time. We do manage to come up positive units as well. Baseball is very tough, but thankfully, thank the Lord. I'm up a bunch of units in baseball, so we can talk about that every show. Thank the Lord. And you know, today is Tuesday, March, April, May 23rd, 2023, and we got once again some interesting situations in baseball coming up. Of course, we got NHL and NBA playoffs. I'm assuming that Jimmy the Bag and others will say that at the very least, Dallas first period and probably full game are good bets, but we'll get into that. We'll get into that later. I know Jimmy the Bag is a family man, and his daughter was a little bit ill, right, Jim? How you doing right now?
I'm a little flustered. I held the anger on the losing the under in Game 3 of the Heat Celtics. I held that anger pretty close. I held it all yesterday, but my daughter came down with the stomach flu last night, so I was up with her till 5 or 5:30, and then I don't know if it's anxiety or anger or what, but I couldn't sleep. So I did not sleep last night. In saying that, I don't just, you know, when I have like insomnia or stuff like that kind of reaches in, I don't just lie there.
Mm-hmm.
So I did cap the entire card, or as much, you know, I did cap it.
Well, you know, Jimmy the Bag, it's okay. Just relax. You know, cap us, listen to us, cap us cappers. And, you know, if anything that we talk about strikes you as like it makes sense a little bit, feel free to tail, and we'll have a nice, pleasant little show here, Jimmy the Bag. How does that sound?
That sounds great. TNT says a sharp action, a really sharp action at the end of the day. Well, yes, it is.
Yes, but it's hard to necessarily 100% definitively assess what is the actual sharp action at the end of the day. And of course, there is often conflicting and opposing sharp action at the end of many days, not all days, but at the end of many days. Here, Jimmy the Bag, I'm gonna try to turn that little light off there for a second. Okay? I'll be right back.
Okay, sweet. But great to see all of you guys. Shout out to all you guys in the chat. Can't do this without you. Caleb in the house. Justin McElvey, Brandy McCarty says we taking Celtics money line and St. Louis run line and the Rangers over for Brandy McCarty. Justin McElvey, Wine Time Sports in the house. There's Billy Friedrich looking at the French Open popping off in 20 minutes. Charlie Chips in the house says Celtics money line. Keep riding them losers. Says Charlie Chips. I don't know who he is referring to because I don't know anybody who was on Celtics money line. If you were watching our show, our live bet stream, everybody was on Miami. I unfortunately was live betting the unders before the.
Well, didn't picks from Dave say he loved the over in that one or like the over?
Yes, but 74 points in the fourth quarter with the subs is the reason why the over cashed.
Right.
I shouldn't have cashed. You know, this is just bullshit. 29 out of 30 times. Maybe that's 9 out of 10 times when the subs come in a game like that, you know, the live total was 205, Pete.
Right.
Going into the fourth quarter, 205. So I had 223.5 and 219.5. And so you know, it is what it is. But I could go over everybody's action and no one had Boston in that game. Every single person said it's heat or pass. Every single person. Spenny Penny Bombs in the house. North Ender Rural Video. Dennis Garcia says, I can't believe I'm going to have to bet Vegas in the Cup final. Yeah, I can't wait to talk about that game right now. Billy Friedrich has Boston, Miami first half over. Dennis Garcia says also, can we fire Schneider and let Donnie Baseball be the manager? I would like that as well. Schneider did not have a very good week here. Jason last place in the AL East. Bobrovsky on another level right now. It's wild when you see a goaltender get confident And, Aiden Hill feels like he's confident, not quite the same as Bobrovsky in this Dallas series, which we will talk about here. Charlie Chip says Dallas is going to win the next 3. I just couldn't, I didn't want to do it, but I was like, I would like just to take a peek, Pete, and see how much money is on Dallas. And when it was at 96%, I just couldn't pull the trigger on Dallas. The market's not moving. Now, I often say that when you get gifts in NHL, that they're real gifts, and maybe it is a gift. Maybe I don't know, but 96%, we'll go over it. It was enough to keep me off. But I want to bet them, and I want to bet the first 3. We'll talk about it, but that was just a little too much. Subhuman Gaucho saturated. Slats, he says, bet Sam Reinhart last goal, 10-1. I love him. I absolutely love him. 5 straight last goals in Florida for Sam. I love Sammy Reinhart, one of my favorite players. Rem Most Hunter Engelhart says that beautiful stash has vanished. There's Nate Dogg, 420 in the house. Great to see all you guys. Rem Most, Jorge, Don't Play, Ray Charles, Dab Fen. Charlie, I'm still upset about it. It really hurt because it would have been a spectacular night, and it was very, very, very bothersome. Brian Watson, North Ender, Vitalis. What a great group! Great group. Thank you guys for joining us. And AOD in the house. Von Polo, TNT, Piker, King Ken, Cover Kings, Jessica Easton, Troy Torrance. It's a great group. Rick J, Sean Sullivan, Serious Business, Rocco Rogers, Guillermo Zertucci, RVD 420. It is an excellent group. Let's get to work. Pistol Pete, my friend. Let's get to work. NHL, right. Are we ready to roll?
NHL, sure. Let's start with that. Let's go. You ready, Jimmy the Bag?
Yes, set the table for us. West Final Game 3, American Airlines.
Following this a lot more closely than I am, Jimmy the Bag. But, Dallas, when they come back from these 2-game road trips in the playoffs, they're usually good to go, at least in the first period. You're following this a lot more closely than I am, of course. But, why would we not like Dallas here? And certainly Dallas first period, unless you think that at this point in the playoffs, Vegas is a next-level team, next-level goalie that you don't want to bet against at the moment.
I wouldn't go as far. I want to bet Dallas. I don't know if I necessarily have to with the futures that I hold, but I would like to see the market moving towards Dallas. I'd like to see that. I'm surprised that we're not seeing that. It's come down 1%. So right now we have 95% of the money on Dallas money line. It just usually I wouldn't let this get in my head, but I was like, why is this line not moving? I was trying to figure out why is this line not moving?
Well, because it started off as Dallas a big favorite. In order for the line to move, you'd have to have some pretty solid, respectable action going pretty big on Dallas, and maybe they just think the line is not worth it. Too big of a favorite.
96% of the cash on any bet. It's just somewhere I would prefer not to be involved with, especially knowing that we can cash the unders in the first period under every game in Carolina, Florida. I don't know why I want to be. I don't ever want to be on the side with 96% of the cash. And so let's talk it out. But I expect at this point for that to keep me off. This total started at 5.5 as a pick'em. There's been a 5-cent move to the under. I didn't think this was going to be an under series really, but a lot of excellent cappers did. And I've stayed off betting the total. I know that first game got to overtime at 3-3, so that cashed the over, and then the last game was easy to the under. Phillies Backwoods is looking at the under. That last game certainly played to the under. The Stars are forced to play Glendening because they have to win the faceoff battle. They didn't win it in game 1. Glendening has to be out there, even if he is a bit of a problem at times, but you need to win the bulk of the faceoffs. Aiden Hill is outplaying Jake Ottinger at this point. It's pretty simple to say. The Stars aren't going to win the series if that's the case. Vegas 62.5% penalty killing throughout the playoffs, 18.6% power play. It's that they're dominating 5-on-5. It's that they look so strong 5-on-5. Now, we look at this series with Dallas down 2-0, and God damn, I mean, these are pretty tight losses. I mean, you can say the same thing about what's going on in Carolina, Florida, but Dallas's power play still at 30.4%. Their penalty killing at 82.1%. There's Razor Sharp picks in the house. What up, Razor? Nut Flush Allen.
Oh, Nutflush Allen. Oh, man, Nutflush Allen. Happy birthday to Caden Allen, Nutflush. It's been a crazy week. I didn't make my birthday announcement for Caden Allen, but that's going to happen. It might have to be a little bit belated, but it's going to happen. That's how life is. If you don't do something when you should do it, you just do it later. Happy birthday to Caden Allen. Shout out to you, Nutflush Allen. Go ahead, Jimmy.
Yeah, great family. Absolutely great family. Corey Allen in the house as well. Penny bombs on Dallas. Vegas first period over 1.5. First period, both teams scoring. Dallas team total over 3.5 for plus 150. Slatsy says Stars completely outplayed Vegas last game. They're home now. Stars first period and full game. Yeah, I mean, that's usually I'm very comfortable with the simplistic style of capping hockey. But 96%, also, watching colleagues back. Now, we didn't have any on our Sunday night show with the Celtics, but I knew that some people were on the Celtics in game 3. And then watching the Lakers go down games 3 and 4, obviously that's playing in my head here, even if it's a different sport. But Jonathan Marchessault scored his 6th goal of the playoffs to tie it up at 2. Chandler Stevenson scored his 7th of the playoffs, 112 in overtime. He's a spectacular hockey player. I absolutely love him. And, this Vegas team just believes in themselves. They're 7-3 when the opponent scores first. They have 8 comeback wins in the playoffs. Teams that have won the first 2 games of the series in the round leading up to the Stanley Cup final, which, usually is conference final, but that's how I've been quoting it, has advanced 91% of the time. Dallas Stars are 0-4 in overtime in these playoffs. I mean, no team ever moves on when you can't win in overtime ever. The Stars only allowed 10 shots on goal by Vegas in the first 2 periods. I get it. I want to bet Dallas first period. I want to bet Dallas full game -1. But it would be nice to see one person on Vegas. And I just don't think I want to. If I've got futures, like some losses hurt more than others, and I guess when you do it publicly, I really thought I was on the right side in that game 3 under, and I was through 3 quarters. But now, if Dallas was to lose game 3 here, and I know I'm on the side with 96% of the cash, that would just make me so angry. I would have to leave the house and go for a walk. I don't think I want that. There's Nate Dogg. He says he's on Vegas tonight. I just don't want to be on the side with that much, with everybody on it.
All right. Well, you can write down 2 plays for me, Jimmy the Bag. You ready?
Yep.
I'm capping the cappers. I think you're right. Dallas is clearly a quality and capable team. Vegas believes in themselves. They come back. So here's what we're going to do, Jim. Dallas first period money line -132, current line at Pinnacle. And Dallas first period goal, yes, -170, current line at Pinnacle.
First period goal, yes.
-170, and the first period money line -132.
Oh, first period goal, yes, has more. It's just -170?
At Pinnacle.
Wow. Kong Clip says, don't overthink it. Jimmy Dallas is a play. No, I'm not going to hurt Charlie Chips. I'll be happy. And that's a great question. But what if Dallas wins? Aren't you going to be mad for not taking them? No, I've got them to win the West at plus 375. So I'll be happy. I'll be happy. I have to. I would prefer not to ever look at the money in NHL, but this just doesn't feel right for some reason. Dallas is going to have all the pressure on them. This is a veteran-laden squad that I know can handle these types of situations. I expect them to handle this type of situation. But in saying all that, I would prefer not to be on the side of 96% of cash in every sport moving on for the rest of my life. So I'm going to stay off of it at this point, and I apologize for that. But this is just not the type of situation that I want to be in. And I love this MLB card. I would have liked to have attacked it more before we got here, but I'm going to let this be. I'll cheer on Pistol Pete, Loshak, and I'll be cheering on the Stars. But this is just not there's a ton of pressure on Dallas, and Vegas is an extremely dangerous hockey team that believes in themselves, that's been there before. And, those 6 players that were there in that loss in the Stanley Cup final, they're crucial parts of this hockey team, and they remember everything. And Topset says he's on Vegas. North Ender says Hint's always better at home. So look, I don't need to sit with this anymore. And look, there's sometimes when I overthink things, and when I don't sleep the night before, I'm overthinking things. But I couldn't stop thinking about this game. But I'm gonna let it go, Pete. I'll cheer you on. I'm ready to move on to ML.
I'm okay with my position. Bet them both.
I like it. Real Deal Prime said Jake gets inspiration from Bob's performance. Should be good. I hope so. God, we need Ottinger to start playing better badly. Need him to start playing better badly. Let's move on to MLB, my friend. And you have been excellent. Excellent. The show I was not here for. Still a positive show for you, 6-5. But you're 40-25 on the year, 61.5%, plus 14.67 units, an ROI plus 22.5%, average line minus 103. And we did have to cut a winner, right? We did have to cut that 2 weeks ago, the Mets first 5 team total over 2.5 because of the pitcher change.
Yeah, no, that was a loser, but we cut it. But yeah, it's.
I thought that didn't end up catching. I thought that it was a high scoring game.
I don't remember, but yeah, the pitching changes obviously when you have team totals.
We had to cut that one. I thought that was a winner, but
our records are aligned now, Jimmy the Bag. Yeah, you got my correct record, and sometimes when there's pitching changes and you don't catch them until after the game starts, sometimes you lose, sometimes you win, sometimes in your favor, sometimes not. Yeah, just happens.
And then so we'll move that. And one thing just to answer Spenny Pennybombs saying anything on the total, Jimmy, this is how I see this game playing out. Is that if Dallas scores first in the first period, I expect that barn to be going bananas. I expect a snowball to get bigger and bigger and bigger, and Dallas to win 5-1 or something of that ilk. If Vegas scores first, I expect Aiden Hill and the Knights to love playing the role of this road warrior type team. I expect Dallas to start squeezing their sticks too tight, and I expect under type game where I could see Aiden Hill absolutely shining. I think that first goal is absolutely paramount for total betting. That's how I see it. So, all right, let's move on to MLB. And we start at 6:10 p.m. Eastern with the Chicago White Sox 19-37 and 17 on the road at the Cleveland Guardians 21-26, 10-12 at home, Progressive Field in Cleveland, Ohio. And we also come to a spot that is the say-a play of the day, right off the hop at 6:10 p.m. And our friend, Jose Bloody Tits Bouquet, is coming together right now, climbing out of the hole that was dug for him. So let's bring him on right now. The star of Say Hey plays of the day from San Antonio, Texas, Jose Bouquet. Jose, how are you?
I'm doing well, Jimmy. You're right about climbing out of that deficit. Like you said earlier in the season, you didn't expect this season to be the same as last season. No 2 seasons are the same. But we are climbing out of it. Plus 17.39 units since May 25th.
Excellent.
So cannot complain.
Well, May 25th is 2 days from now.
May 15th is what I mean, actually, then. But, yeah, I've been doing a lot of different capping. It's been fun. And this is one of those games where I just smell the fish, as they say.
I do too, and I think I can probably guess where you're at. We have the Gamblers' first glance, Cleveland money line at minus 124, and it just feels like this market is screaming that Cleveland is the play. Ron Crawford spreadsheet play of the day is in. I will copy and paste that. There's our guy Millsy in the house. Kong's clips going big, alternate line big on the Celtics. I'll copy and paste that and have that for our basketball. Thank you for sharing that with us, Kong's clips. But let's go here and hear what you guys want to do on this spot. 73 Fahrenheit, 7.6 miles per hour in, down to 6.9 miles per hour in. Move over there. These pitchers just faced each other on Friday, and this was the game where I lost my White Sox first 5 minus a half with 2 out in the top of the 5th with a solo shot by Naylor. I should have just been on the under. Let's take a look at the line history here for this one. Move over to MLB and get this going. I should have had it up already. Dylan Cease versus Logan Allen. Let's go over to Pinnacle. And there's just been this constant move towards the Tribe. They opened up at minus 109. They're now at minus 123. Minus 109, now minus 123. Let's go over to the total next and see what we are dealing with. From a total perspective, here we go. It's loading up. I'll have this up and faster moving forward for the rest of the games. But this opened up at 8, minus 106 to the under. The initial move was to the under, and that stopped in its tracks. The over has been getting bet quite a lot. It's been bouncing from 8.5 to 8, 8.5 to 8, which is sort of telling us that Cease is going to get touched in this start. Gambler's first glance, obviously thinking that Cease is vulnerable here on the road. 31% of the tickets and 62% of the cash is on the Cleveland Guardians. I mean, that's just screaming at us that the Guardians are the play. The total has 69% of tickets and 90% of the cash on the over. So if you believe that the market's telling you that the Guardians are the play and the over is the play, that means Dylan Cease about to get touched here. About to get touched. Last start at home to the Guardians here. 6 1/3, 5 hits, 3 runs, 1 homer, 3 Ks, 4.78 ERA, 1.39 whip on the season. I don't know how I don't have his road stats there. I have it all set up to talk about, but it's not there. I'll pull them up. Logan Allen has been good at home. Sample size is small, 16 innings, 3.38 ERA, 16 strikeouts, 5 walks, but a 299 opponent's batting average. He looked great against this White Sox team in Chicago and now facing them again. My stats are now going to be May stats. I want to leave the opening few weeks of the MLB season alone for our breakdowns. So White Sox versus lefties, 321, 859 OPS. Guardians versus righties in May, 224, 605 OPS. That White Sox bullpen that's been so bad to start the year has been excellent of late. 2.97 ERA, 1.08 whip. And the Guardians bullpen being middling, 3.76 ERA, 1.29 whip. Let's hear it. Jose Bouquet, say hey, play of the day. Take it away.
Yeah, these games aren't really like capping anymore, honestly. Like I don't have to, it's kind of nice. I just kind of look at the lines now and I'm like, that's not right. And I just bet that side now. It's worked for the last couple of days. Shout out to Lance Lynn. Shout out to my guy, Adam Wainwright. Shout out to yesterday for Christian Javier. There's just been a lot of fishy. Shout out to the Red Sox yesterday as well. That was another fishy line. I have not really needed to cap these games because if I just look at the line and say that is not right, I just bet the side that I don't think is right here. So I took Cleveland Guardians. I took the -1 plus 116. I probably should have just taken the money line, minus 130 as well. So I'll go ahead and add that as well. I've been doubling up. I've been tripling up on these spots where the line's not right, and it just gives me enough confidence because I've not lost one of these bets yet, shockingly enough. And it's just I know the line is wrong for a reason, and I just have to kind of just go with it. There's no, again, I can tell you guys, Dylan Cease, really good. The Guardians bats really bad. I could tell you guys all that, but none of that really, it doesn't matter, I guess, because if the line and the market are telling you something, for me in these last 10 days or so, you just have to kind of roll with it. And that's what I've rolled with here. It doesn't make me feel great that Logan Allen's coming off of a back-to-back. It doesn't make me feel great that the Guardians are horrible on offense and the White Sox against lefties this month, 142 weighted runs created plus. However, I'm going to ride with the Guardians here, full game money line and full game -1.
Makes sense to me. Now, the problem was, for me, it didn't really correlate with my X's and O's. And I know that you're going to bypass that, and that, I think, is a profitable spot. We talked about that last year for times when I could have flipped. Those are TJ tracked them for me at 70%. I was sitting at 70% when I said, well, I'll stay off of it, but I could flip to the other side. Let's hear what Pistol Pete Loshak has to say about this spot. Chicago White Sox, Cleveland Guardians.
Yeah, I mean, that's interesting. I mean, obviously, you guys made the important points. Cleveland did have one of those team meetings after the Mets sweep. And, a lot of times those can sort of, change a team's, focus in sort of like hard to quantify ways. I'm sort of a believer in that, Jimmy the Bag. We've talked about that for many years. And Dylan Cease overall been vulnerable. Logan Allen, very good so far. Not lights out, but very good. I was going to pass here, but, I think Jose Bouquet is seeing things in the right way. By first pitch, I might have a bet on Cleveland. I wind up having, a bet on most of these games. And I think Jose Bouquet is, as of right now, probably, I think I agree with him. I don't know if I'm going to join him officially here. But, great analysis, Jose Bouquet, and I kind of agree with it.
Thank you. By the way, Pete Nate's saying he's going to be in New York this week. I think he said next Tuesday to Friday. So I expect to see you and Nate together, by the way.
Tuesday to Friday. Okay, I will come up with an excuse now that is plausible. No, kidding around. Jose Bouquet, Nasty Nate, we'll have a great time. Get in touch with me. We'll have a great time. Maybe. Beautiful. We'll try to have a great time for sure.
And Billy Friedrich, I'll say this. He's definitely not better than Cease. Logan Allen isn't. But that didn't matter with Adam Wright and fucking Julio Urias the other day. It didn't matter yesterday with Tanner Houck and Jaime Barria. It just doesn't matter, I guess. It's either these pitchers will pitch lights out and the offense will score one more than the other one, or they'll get touched up. And it's one of those things is I just find these spots to be give me extremely, a lot of confidence just because I've cashed with them so frequently in the last few days. I just don't think this line's right. And I haven't been wrong about it yet. And I obviously could be because now I'm looking for these lines a little bit more, obviously. Maybe I'm trying to see things, but it just, why in the world are the Cleveland Guardians, who have been shit against righties this whole year, favored against Dylan Cease, who they just saw?
Yeah. Yeah. And, I absolutely agree. This is messed up. It's a messed up line. It made no sense to me. When I first looked at it, I thought, I'd like to get involved in Dylan Cease. That was my very first thought.
And you've said many a times, and I've thought I've said the same thing, because the other day, Zach Gallen versus the Pirates, that's the first play everyone looks at. Like, oh my God, we can bet Zach Gallen. Yes, finally. And then gets fucking dominated by the Pirates.
I was adamant in that.
Exactly.
I was like, you can't possibly bet Zach Allen here with the market like this.
Exactly. So that's my thing. I've just been like, all right, first play, mark it out. If not, bet the other side. And that's the kind of the mantra right now. So, and I've definitely thought about that. And you saying you would like Dylan Cease on this, it doesn't make me happy that I want to fade your first thoughts, but that's what the books want you to do, Exactly. So, yeah.
Hunter Engelhart on the other side. Hunter Engelhart going to back the White Sox. Billy Friedrich adamant that Cease is a better pitcher than Logan Allen.
Picks from Dave says Jose's getting too philosophical. I'm not sure I like it. I've said this from fucking day one. Jose looks like the fucking Buddha. He's a fucking philosophical dude. He may not have come into his own completely yet, but he looks like the fucking Buddha. So don't be shocked when philosophical shit starts emanating from this fellow here.
By the way, Nutflush called me on the 13th of May to give me a life gambling pep talk. I just did the math. Since then, I'm up 20.74 units. So that's just very funny.
I love it. Shout out to, we got Ronnie and Bergia, Who Bang and Sports Talk, picks from Dave, Chocolatey Waterfall. We have an absolutely great group. Ricardo Morel also on Cleveland Moneyline. I expect to be on Cleveland with you guys. I'm going to take them though as well on the -1 line. I'm going to take them plus money. Now that of course is because, like Pete has sort of taught us, this total is moving up. That the market is telling us that there's more volatility than one would expect, not less. Because it's more, I will take the -1 line. If it was moving down to 7.5, I would be just on the money line. So also Gamblers First Glance, our man Razor Sharp Picks, Cleveland money line. All right, I like it. Jose, keep climbing, my friend, and we'll bring you back for the Red Sox game unless you want to jump on and anything else. Let us know, my man.
Yeah, I'll jump on for the Astros game because I've been preaching the Astros and Cardinals gospel, and unfortunately, the Cardinals are playing a shit team, so it makes it harder to bet them. But it is now the gospel of the Astros, so I'll be back here very soon, I guess.
I love it. There you go. We are
Saturated said, "What is the sound of one hole clapping?" Yes, indeed.
It's beautifully put. It's a riddle. It's a Jose Bouquet riddle. We move on. 6:35 p.m. Eastern. The Texas Rangers 29-18, 13-10 on the road to the Pittsburgh Pirates 25-22, 12-11 at home. PNC Park in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. This is the exact same situation as the Guardians spot. Now, I have not looked at the market since last night, but this was the exact same situation in my mind. The question being, in that first game, the sentiment has to be not trusting Dylan Cease on the road. He's only throwing 20 in the third innings there, but 12 earned runs, 14 runs overall, 244 opponents batting average, 5.31 ERA. And the same must be said about Nate Eovaldi. Even though that's a very difficult pitcher to be on the other side of right now. Let's start with the weather at PNC Park first and foremost. 77 Fahrenheit, 8.1 miles per hour in, between 8.1 and 7.3 miles per hour. So, kind of a under weather. Let's take a look at the line history here. At Pinnacle, this opened up at 8.5 and is now at 8. So opened up at 8.5, and it went down to 8 pretty quickly. Now, for me, last night it went up to 8.5. So I was going to be kind of just curious as to where it was this morning. It moved back to 8 at 7:52 a.m. So we have a move towards the under. Let's take a look at the money line and see what we're dealing with the market analysis there. Take a second, and here we go. We have the Rangers opening up at minus 153. They're now minus 156. So a 3-cent move towards the Texas Rangers. Let's go over to the cash flow for this and get to all markets and discuss. First off, a money line, 32% of the tickets and 70. Oh, sorry. Damn, that was the Guardians one. Sorry. 15% of the tickets and 22% of the cash on the Pittsburgh Pirates. 85% of the tickets, 78% of cash on the Rangers. Market not moving towards them is wild. That makes me want absolutely nothing to do with the Rangers. This is back Dick Mountain or pass. 67% of the tickets, 71% of the cash on the over. So I can't really just trust that the under is it with the bigger bets coming in on the over. But I do think that when it goes down to 8, that the books are very comfortable with anybody betting the over. And if I had a free play, I certainly would be on the under. But do I want to put cash on it is the question. There's our guy, Fat Wally, in the house. What up, Wally? Nate Eovaldi, 2.83 ERA, 0.99 whip. He had 3 straight scoreless starts before losing 6-5 at home to the Braves last out, allowing 3 earned runs and 2 homers. On the road, he's been so good. 34 in the third, 3-1, 1.83 ERA, 35 strikeouts, 6 walks, 213 opponent's batting average. Better on the road than he's been at home. And you have the opposite with Rich Hill. Rich Hill's been better on the road than he's been at home. He's coming off an excellent performance against Eduardo Rodriguez, who's pitching today. 47 in the third on the year. His numbers have been getting better and better and better. But at home, 5.25 ERA over 24 innings, 17 strikeouts, 9 walks. But that was a great start against Detroit. Rangers in May versus lefties, 342 with a 923 OPS. Pittsburgh versus righties in May, 190 with a 542 OPS. Rangers bullpen in May is the worst in Major League Baseball. 7.21 ERA, 1.58 whip. The Pirates bullpen's been bad too. 5.05 ERA, 1.37 whip. Under zero circumstances could I be on the Rangers here, but Larry Garr has an interesting point. 99% of the cash on Texas minus 1.5. Troy Torrance says, I want the over in this game, but the market move towards the under is keeping me off. I don't think, Troy, I would, if I really like the under, I think the books are opening up their arms to over money by placing it at 8. Take it away, Pete. I'm very interested in your breakdown.
Sorry, hold on. I had to, okay, hold on. Yeah, so sorry, I had to just look at some emails here. This one would be Pittsburgh or nothing for me, but I'm not going to pull the trigger on it. Yeah, it's a dangerous spot for taking Texas here as this big of a favorite. Eovaldi, I think, is the real deal in general, but I don't like the spot for him as a big favorite. And Rich Hill actually been pitching decently this year. He's definitely not on the auto fade list, although Adam Wainwright might be. So yeah, it's Hill really not that bad. Lean Pittsburgh, but it's going to be a pass for me.
Yeah, I guess I'm going to have to stay off. By the way, Nut Flash Allen saying, telling you, I think Dylan was using the sticky stuff when he was lights out last year. Rumor has it. Walker had some fishy stuff. Reminds me of the same look here. Wow. Ricky Bobby looking at the first 5 over 4.5. I think that if you want the over, that you have to focus on how bad the Rangers and Pirates bullpens have been in May. So I would go full game personally. But I guess you're right. I don't know if I have the balls to fade Nate Eovaldi here after a less than decent start when he's been so spectacular. But this is such a similar situation from the Guardians. Are you moving on this spot, Peter? Do we move on?
No, pass for me.
Connor Hurdy Kelly with the public. 85% of the tickets on the Rangers. He believes Texas first 5 -1/2 is the play. I want nothing to do with the Texas Rangers, but I don't know if I want to move on the Pirates, but certainly Pirates or no bet. Don't panic like in the over and the Pirates money line. Let's move on. Next up for 6:40 p.m. Eastern, Arizona Diamondbacks 28-20, 14-10 on the road at the Philadelphia Phillies 22-25, 13-9 at home. Citizens Bank Park in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. This is a very interesting cap. Matt Strom hasn't started since May 2nd. He got absolutely lit up by the Dodgers. They pulled him from the rotation. And since then, he's made 4 appearances from the bullpen, 6 in the third innings, not allowing a run. Struck out 10 in those 6 in the third with 2 walks. And here he is back in the starting rotation. We have 70 Fahrenheit, 9.0 miles per hour, right to left, slightly in from 9 to 7.6 miles per hour. We have a line history here. Let's discuss it right off the hop. Strom versus Nelson. Strom has gone from -132 to -150, a huge move towards him. There's also been a 12-cent move towards the Phillies since 10:25 a.m. this morning. So the last hour and 15 minutes, a huge move towards Strom and the Phillies. Let's take a look at the total here as well. Get this line history up here. Ryan Nelson on one side against Matt Strom. The total opened up at 9.5, and no 7-cent move to the under. 7-cent move to the under. So we have a move to the under and a move towards the Phillies. 75% of the tickets and 96% of the cash on the Phillies. At least here you see the market moving towards them. Total wise, we have 45% of the tickets and 81% of the cash on the under, and there's 7 cents of juice. 7 cents of juice, so something. Ryan Nelson, 1-2, 5.48 ERA, 1.48 whip. Coming off his best start of the season at the A's, he's still battling for that 5th spot in the rotation. 5 1/3, 1 hit, 6 Ks, 4 walks against the weak-hitting A's. He's been, okay on the road, 20 1/3, 4.43 ERA, 15 strikeouts, 8 walks, 276 opponents batting average. Diamondbacks versus lefties in May, 269, 758. Almost the exact same number as the Phillies versus righties in May, 273, 762 OPS. The Phillies bullpen has slipped back a little bit, but still being quite strong in May, 3.69 ERA, 1.34 whip. Diamondbacks bullpen being a little better than their season totals suggest, 4.02 ERA, 1.34 whip. Take it away for us here, Pistol Pete, Diamondbacks, Phillies.
Yeah, I had Arizona yesterday, and in general, I've been taking Arizona successfully on sides and fading Philly on sides, except that one game where they won 11-2 or something like that. I forgot what it was recently. I was definitely on them. And this one here as well. I kind of like Philly, although I, as the line creeps up and I see, comment like Hunter Engel part saying there's no way this team should be minus 150 against any team. That rings true to me, especially against a team like Arizona, which is a team that I think is undervalued. Maybe I'd like the first 5, but I'm liking Philly here right now. Not sure what picks I want to make here officially, but yeah, let me read these comments. Troy Torrance saying Philly off a home loss, 8-1 to the over since last season. My numbers had a slightly into the under, but slightly into the under, definitely into Philly when the line was lower, leaning that way again now. But obviously, the higher it goes, the less I like it. Might pull the trigger on the first 5 though.
Yeah, I'm going to, again, stay off of this spot with 96% of cash on the Phillies. I can understand you looking first 5. I'm not sure what to do with Strom. Pulled from the rotation now back into it. I don't know what to do, and I just prefer not to be involved here. There's a ton of spots on this card that I want to attack, and this isn't really one of them for me.
All right. I will take though. God, it's so high, but man, I really should. All right. I'm going to take, maybe I should take just take the Philly first 5 team total over. I mean, or the full game even, but yeah, I was going to take Philly first 5, at minus 150, but I think I'll just take the first 5 team total over at minus 115. That's the current line at Heritage. Philly, first 5 team total over 2.5 minus 115. You got that, Jim?
You got it. Loshak is in and locked. Let's move on. I really want to be involved in this game. I want to fade Adam Wainwright every single start he has this year. But the Cardinals are raking right now. There's my guy, Turnsey, in the house. Turnsey, almost everybody in the chat is on the Stars. I got the futures on them, and with 96% of the cash on the Stars, I don't want to be involved in it. Just does not appeal to me to be in that kind of a situation here. So I'm not going to be on the Stars, but I'm going to be cheering for them. Let's talk about this spot here. St. Louis Cardinals, Cincinnati Reds, Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati, Ohio. We'll start with the weather in Cincy. Get up here. 81 Fahrenheit, 6.4 miles per hour in, goes 6.4 to 6.5 throughout the game in. Wine time all over the Reds, plus 120 in this spot. I want the Reds too, but I would like, if I decide to pull the trigger, I'd probably like to focus on them first 5. Let's start with the money line history here. This opened up with the Reds plus 125. They're now plus 128. The initial move was towards the Reds, but Cardinals money has been seeping in. 3-cent move towards the Cardinals. From a total standpoint, this opened up at 10. It's now at 10.5. It's been bouncing from 10 to 10.5 to 10 to 10.5 throughout. It's back at 10.5 right now. Let's take a look at the cash flow for this spot. 45% of the tickets and 86% of the cash on the Reds. I couldn't. If that's the case, why is the line, not moving towards them? 39% of the tickets, 91% of cash on the over. And we keep seeing it bouncing from 10 to 10.5 to 10 to 10.5. There's Jay's final take in the house. I'm that heat. I'm not putting enough focus on the preseason right now. Are you? I'd be very curious. I know it was so successful for us in NFL. I have not been hammering it, but I should probably start working on that. Let's talk about Wainwright here. 5.74 ERA in 15 2/3 innings since coming off the IL. Hurt his groin in the weight room of the WBC. Graham Ashcraft has been absolutely lit up and smoked of late. Coming off an 11-6 loss at Coors versus the Rockies, 7 earned runs in 5 innings. At home, he's not been good. 16 strikeouts, 11 walks. It's only 20 2/3, but 279 opponents batting average, 4.79 ERA. Cardinals versus righties, 268, 831 OPS in May. Reds just 233, 691. Cardinals bullpen 3.51 ERA, 1.27 WHIP in May, while Reds bullpen 4.00, 1.39. I think I can almost stay off of this in all honesty all of a sudden, Pete, just because I would like to see the market move a little bit towards the Reds, and I'm not seeing that, and that makes me hesitant. What up, Stimmy OG? I guess I guess I should mention, I'm sorry that I was so angry about the loss, and I thank Sharpie for taking over and controlling the end of the show there. But look, the stakes are high, and I had a chance there to be up $600 on the night, and instead I was down a little bit of money, and it made me furious. It made me fucking furious, and I apologize for emoting like that, and I wish I could keep my shit together, but the stakes are high, and it made me extremely angry, and I'm still feeling the anger from it. So take it away here, Pete. Cardinals, Reds.
Jimmy the Bag, I'm having a pretty good baseball season overall, but I would say about 80% of the picks and bets I make privately, I'm like, yeah, that might be the wrong side. You know what I mean? Yesterday, I was on the Reds because of the line, and it did cash. And here, I'd be leaning Reds and over once again. Wainwright, has not been good at Great American. He's been getting hit this year. St. Louis, a much better team recently, though, of course, than the Reds. Ashcraft, his struggles are a little bit forgivable. Of course, his last start was at Coors, and then the one before that was okay until like the 4th, 5th, and 6th inning. So his last 3 starts may be a little bit forgivable, and then the one before that maybe it's just a dud. It's hard to string together multiple great starts in a row. So I'm not ready to throw away Ashcraft to auto fade him every start right now. Definitely want to fade Wainwright, though, and would also be leaning basically both team total overs, the high total, but I'd be leaning over. And this also might be one of those games where, maybe both teams to score 3 is actually a decent bet. That's something that I was looking at. But, it's a high total. Those high totals can be trappy and tricky, but leaning over and leaning the Reds at the current line.
What happened? Time I've laughed.
Is that funny? What would you say?
It's the first time I've laughed in 2 days. What Piker said. I can't.
Wait, I want to read the comment. You don't have to say it out loud. But who?
From Poker Addicted.
Oh, okay.
I can't. Obviously, we all see the same thing with Wainwright. I expect Ashcraft to be more of a viable bounce back, but. Look, if the books aren't going to show any concern for the side that I want to bet on, I'm just not going to bet it. So I'm going to leave Reds first 5 here on my worksheet, but I'm just going to add a few question marks, and I'm not going to be bet. I would be betting the Reds first 5, but I want a sign, and I'm not getting it, and so I'm going to stay off of the spot here. And what's keeping us from betting the over, Pete? Is it?
Well, because Wainwright is obviously nothing like what he once was, but he's still a friggin' veteran who knows how to get shit done. And Ashcraft, has strung 3 bad starts in a row, and you could maybe forgive him for a little bit in each of them. And in general, he's just not a guy who, if he comes in here and throws 7 innings and gives up 1 run, that would not be a shock at all. So again. You can make a strong argument for why, the over and Cincinnati are both terrible bets, and you might be right. I'm just saying, as of right now, that's how I would be leaning.
I couldn't bet the first 5 last night. It was unavailable for me. It's 5.5. It's asking a lot to get to 6 runs in the first 5 innings. But I would prefer a first 5 over than a full game over. I believe in that both these bullpens are, decent or better than decent. Do you agree with that take on the bullpens?
On the bullpens, I have St. Louis as rated significantly better than Cincinnati. And let me see. Let me just pull up my stuff here. Where the hell are we? Sorry, Jim. Just give me a second here. Right, pulling some stuff up here. Bullpens. Yeah. I would. Yeah. No. I have them both as kind of like middle of the road and about even. Now that I look at the updated numbers, about middling and about even, about a wash. I would say the bullpens are a wash as of right now. The way I look at things.
Yeah, I guess
early in the year, St. Louis had a very highly rated bullpen. according to me.
And their middle relief has been quite good. James H. Nobody was on the Celtics. I lost, and a few of my friends lost on the under when they scored 74 points in the fourth quarter. The subs came in and scored 74 points in the fourth quarter. It just happened so quick. That's the thing about. I know that we're going to move on into the Blue Jays game. Blue Jays Rays next, but in basketball, it's like looking at a car crash in front of your eyes. Like it seems to happen so fast that it's so hard to adjust. When your team starts, when your side starts falling apart, it just I don't know. It just happened so fast. Like I wasn't able to adjust. And okay, let's go. 6:40 p.m. Eastern. Toronto Blue Jays 25-23, 12-14 on the road at the Tampa Bay Rays. 35-14, 22-4 at home. Tropicana Field in St. Petersburg, Florida. Jose Barrios going up against Taj Bradley. I was shocked at the line here for this one. I really was surprised at it. It didn't make sense to me. The market is moving towards the over right now. Let's get the money line up here. The Jays now the last place team in the AL East. The Rays open up at -123, and that's where they are right now, -123. I was surprised that this line opened up at Pinnacle at +114 for the Jays, and then within 4 hours they were +104. So, a belief that Taj is vulnerable and Barrios is going to pitch well on the road. I mean, that's all hard for me to believe. This total opened up at 8.5, and it's now at 9. Let's take a look at the cash flow for this spot. Jays, Rays, we have 65% of the tickets and 67% of the cash on the Rays. That's telling me that this is a decent bet on the Jays, but who can trust Barrios on the road? I don't know who in the right mind could do that. The over has all the money on it, 90% of the tickets, 99% of the cash. Barrios coming off some nice starts. He's stringing together some nice starts, but the majority are coming at home. He's coming off 6 2/3, 6 hits, 3 earned runs, 1 homer, 8 Ks, 1 walk, the 4-2 loss at home versus the Yankees. Excellent. On the road, he's throwing 28 1/3 innings, 6.67 ERA, 296 opponents batting average. And it was the same deal last year. Even the splits were even more extreme. Taj Bradley, I think he's somewhat vulnerable. He's only throwing 10 innings at home, and it hasn't been great. He's coming off a 3-2 loss at the Mets where he looked pretty good. If we can compare like Taj Bradley to Bayo, how many starts did it take Bayo to get rolling, which he is right now? We've already heard the spreadsheet play today is on Bayo and the Red Sox. I think Taj Bradley will figure that out, but I don't think he's done that yet. Jays versus righties, 260, 731 OPS in May. Rays, 250, 769. And the Rays bullpen in May has been really bad. 5.34 ERA, 1.47 whip, as has the Jays, 4.48 ERA, 1.51 whip. Jays final take says Jays have lost 5 in a row now. Time for an upswing. Might not be today, but they will put together a string of wins here starting tonight or tomorrow will happen. You're getting a cheap price. I told you guys the time to get in on the Jays futures. I said it right from the beginning. I said it in our breakdown video. It was June 23rd. I remember like it was yesterday, June 23rd. Once we get to June 23rd, the Jays schedule is a walk in the park. So at that date, we can look. And maybe the time is now. Maybe it's rushed up. But take it away for us here, Pete. Rays, Jays.
Yeah, I mean, that was a hell of a you all fucking the comment section. Jimmy the Bag and Jose Bouquet. Really impressive analysis. I would be leading Tampa Bay here. I agree with you on Taj Bradley. His stuff is good. He's getting strikeouts, and he's figuring it out. And Barrios, I think, pitching decently. Look, I don't know what to tell you. I would have been leaning under and Tampa Bay. I think I'm gonna pass on this one. But as of right now, by first pitch I might have something. But as of right now, leaning Tampa Bay, leaning under, and that's about it.
Yeah, I agree with that, and I'm not Lamont Williams, our man Lamont Williams, max bets. When we started rolling together, his max bets on our shows where everybody needed to know what Lamont was doing. He's max betting the full game over. Thank you for jumping in. I love that. He's working, but he's just going to jump in to let us know his max bet. That means a ton to us, Lamont. Respect and thank you. So, Joe Yervy says you can get the Rays -1 for plus money. I respect that 10-cent move that open this line. I'm not going to sit here and back a Barrios on the road, but I'm not going to. I just got to stay off. My initial lean was towards the under, 99% cash on the over. I'm off of this spot. This is a no go here. There's been a few of these shows of late where my amount of action is lower than I'd like it to be. So, and then this happened on Friday, and two of the spots where I was like, it was wishy-washy, and I was like, I ended up staying off. They both cashed, and I'm not going to let that happen. So if we come down to it and there's only a couple looks for me, I'll go back to those question marks and I will bet them. Let's move on to the next spot on the board. This is the only one I've bet. And let me see the line here before I get nervous and want to buy out of it. This is the only move I've made. Okay, good. Thank God. Jesus. I've doubled up on unders. 7:05 p.m. Eastern. Baltimore Orioles 31-16, 16-8 on the road at New York Yankees 29-20, 16-10 at home. Yankee Stadium in Bronx, New York. Honestly, I want Kyle Bradish too. I want the Orioles first 5 too, but I wanted to talk that out with you guys. I bet this last night. I got the full game under 8 at -120. This morning was only 8 at -125, and I knew I pulled the trigger on the spot with 90+% of the cash on it. And that made me very nervous, but I just believed in this bet. I was like, just don't let the market take you off of this one. Just that everybody's on the same side. Now it's at 7.5 at Bet365. That makes me feel good. I got the under 4 at -105. It's still there. That makes me nervous. This bet makes me nervous. Troy Torrance got the first 5 under 4 -110. I got -105, which was still where it's at. I'm nervous. I'm nervous about this one. Let's take a look at it now at Pinnacle. It's 7.5 right across the board. That makes me feel good. This opened up at 8 at Pinnacle at 345. Within 20 minutes, it was at 7.5. So why on earth at midnight could I still bet the under 8 -120? I couldn't.
Where? What book?
At Bet365.
All right, because they're slow moving.
They tend to be at times, but it still makes me nervous. Let's take a look at the cash flow here. We have right now Cole and the Yankees at -157. There's been a 9-cent move to the Baltimore Orioles. Let's take a look at the cash flow for this one, Orioles-Yankees. I can't wait to watch this game. I love the way the Orioles are playing, and the Yankees are starting to step up as well. Here we go. 74% of the tickets and 58% of the cash are on the Yankees. It tells me that the Orioles are alive. It's 50-50 on the tickets now in the total. And I thought that there would be a lot of people taking the over once it got to 7.5. 50-50 on the percent tickets, but 93% of the cash on the under. 93 on the under. Bradish coming off some really nice starts. I believe in this young pitcher. He got off to a bad start this year. I knew we were going to make money off of him, and that's exactly what we've been doing. Bradish, 3.90 ERA, 1.30 whip, 29 Ks, 10 walks, 4 homers. Last start, 6 2/3, 4 hits, 1 earned run. It was a solo shot, 3-1 win at home versus the Angels. On the road, he's been very good. 17 strikeouts and 17 1/3 with 5 walks. Points hitting 250 off of him, 3.12 ERA. Garrett Cole on the other side, he's been excellent this year. Coming off a 3-0 loss at the Blue Jays where he was very, very good. 6 innings, did allow 7 hits, but 6 Ks, 2 walks, no earned runs allowed. And at home, he's been absolutely lights out. At home, he's been so spectacular that maybe doubling up on the unders is enough for me. Because at home in 38 innings, he's 3-0 with a 1.18 ERA, 45 strikeouts, 13 walks, and 168 opponent's batting average. The Orioles aren't hitting righties in May. 246, 734 OPS. I mean, that's decent, but their lineup is huge. Yankees versus righties, 248, 771 OPS. When you look at the batter versus pitcher numbers, Mountcastle, Rutschman, and those guys, they don't hit Cole. Some of the guys do, but not the guys I'm worried. I guess Cedric's the only one that hits them that I guess I'd be worried about. But the bats that I want quiet if I'm on an under don't hit Cole. Yankees bullpens and Orioles bullpen have been so good consistently. So this is the only bet on this entire card that I've already made coming into the show. I'm first 5 under, full game under. Take it away, Pete.
Yeah, I mean, that makes a lot of sense. I was leaning under as well. I was definitely leaning Baltimore, although, in a situation like this, and, I really hate fading Cole when he's at home, and maybe he has some connects who will let some sticky stuff slide that he can't get away with on the road. Definitely leaning Baltimore +1 at about +100. I kind of have the Orioles bullpen right now as rated significantly better than the Yankees bullpen right now. I kind of want to take a shot with Baltimore +1, and I don't disagree with anyone who's on the under.
I like it.
And I guess, what the hell, you can put me down at Pinnacle right now. It's +101. Orioles +1, +101. Current line at Pinnacle official play.
Wow, Ronnie, Kyle Dubas took the Penguins job? That's absolutely wild. I cannot believe that. That's unbelievable. Coach Reno says Orioles are 13-2 on series opener, 16-8 away record, one series against Tampa, swept Jays. Rogers Center going to take them at plus money. Rocco Rogers on O's money line +150. I've decided I'm not going to fade Garrett Cole here at home. But it would be Orioles or pass without a doubt. Don Play, these are the only unders that I bet, but we'll talk about some possibility of others. So, Loshak, can you hit me with that again?
Orioles +1, +101.
I love Kyle Bradish. I'm comfortable with just being on the unders there. I think I have enough invested in that spot. Let's move on. 7:05 p.m. Oh, you're hearing he's interviewing. Okay. Because he already came in the media, said he doesn't want a job right now. He wants to be with his family and all that bullshit. Padres 21-26, 9-11 on the road at the Washington Nationals, 20-27, 10-15 at home. Nationals Park, Washington, D.C. I can't wait to talk about this game. I can't wait to break this down and see what the line history and everything is. This is a very, very fascinating spot. I like Mackenzie Gore. I like backing him at home. The Padres open -144. The move had been towards the Nats until the last hour or last 30 or 40 minutes. There's been a 12-cent move towards the Padres in the last 45 minutes. So now, overall, there's been a 5-cent move towards the Padres. Let's take a look at this team or this total for this spot. Darvish versus Gore. We have it opening up at 8.5, and it's now at 8. It moved to 8 briefly last night, and then right back to 8.5, and then it was back at 8. I was very curious to see where this would go. Since that happened, the under 8 was getting bet until 5 minutes ago. 5 minutes ago at Pinnacle, there was an 8-cent move to the over. 8-cent move to the over. There's Tone Miggins in the house because Levels play today. I will copy and paste that. Thank you for sharing that with us, Tone, my man. Tone was all over the Heat. First half money line. We also had Colf Coleon come in and live bet the Heat. There was a lot of great work done on the Heat. I don't know why I was so caught up in the under. But it is what it is. Darvish last start, 5 1/3, 6 hits, 4 runs, 1 homer, 6 Ks, 2 walks, and a 4-3 loss at home versus the Royals. On the road this year, he's only thrown 18 innings, and he's been good. I mean, a 4 ERA, but 190 opponent's batting average. Mackenzie Gore coming off a 4-3 loss at the Marlins when he was touched for all those runs. 4 earned runs in 5 1/3, but he's still been very good this year. 3.69 ERA, 1.45 WHIP, and he's been the same pretty much on the road as he's been at home. No real difference in the splits. Padres versus lefties, 257-81 OPS. Nats versus righties, 257-81 OPS. Nats, 264-701 OPS versus righties. This is May. The Padres bullpen in May has been by far the best spot here. Padres bullpen 1.34 ERA, 0.92 WHIP. Nats bullpen 4.20 ERA, 1.46 WHIP. Let's touch on the weather, and I didn't do that on the Yankees game, and I apologize. That one is blowing in right to left, but in 9.1 miles per hour down to 6.6. Padres Nationals, it's a similar wind, but right to left, pretty much straight right to left, slightly in 8.8 to 5.9. Take it away, Pete. I can't wait to hear your analysis. I like this game a lot, but haven't moved on it.
Yeah, I mean, at first, of course, I was thinking at the line, got to lean Washington and very slight lean under as well. San Diego's confounding, Jimmy the Bag. Like you said, I do like their bullpen in general, and their offense should be a lot better, and I think it will be at some point, similar to what we have seen recently with St. Louis. In this one, I'm probably going to be on the under in Washington. I understand why those might be full game, that is. Those might be bad bets, but yeah, that's it for now, Jim.
I like both of those bets. You have 31% of tickets, 66% cash on the Nationals, 71% of tickets, 84% of cash on the under. I think I'm not sure if this is the right take, but I think that right now with the way this Padres bullpen is performing, that I'd almost rather fade. I'd rather take my chance with Gore versus Darvish and Darvish on the road than full game. I'd rather take the Nats first 5. Maybe that's a mistake. And if this is all kind of culminating in an under, I think that's what I like the best at this point is the under. I expect to move on that right as soon as the show finishes. I don't care that there's been a move back to the over. I like the under in this spot. What's keeping you from betting that right now?
It's just every play in baseball, not every play, 90% of the plays in baseball that I wind up making make me nervous. Overall, I've come out positive overall, but I've definitely made some bad plays. And just makes me nervous. I mean, but both of them got hit a little bit recently. I guess just because I'm expecting a big offensive improvement from San Diego at some point. And I don't really like the Washington pen either. So I'd kind of be leaning San Diego team total over. So if I'm leaning San Diego team total over and Washington on the money line and the under, it just makes no sense. So I'm gonna hold
off. Our guy Rico says first 5 is the spot. Nats could get out of hand after the 5th. Joe Yurkovich likes this double up under better than the Yankees game. AOD going to the Nats game tomorrow to watch some Padres baseball. I love it. Piker has the under locked in. Joe Yerk says Padres and unders are a thing. Tell me you didn't just say that. Took the under 8 and under 4 first 5 and under 2.5 first 3. And Jay's with that Washington plus 140. Okay, I just need a second here to kind of. I guess I won't sit here and hum and haw, but I'm going to get involved in this baseball game, and I want the full game under. Full game under is going to be, and I don't think I want to double up here. So I think it'll just be the full game under. I don't mind the Nats bullpen. I thought they were actually going to be worse than they've been. In May, numbers are similar to their full year. I mean, they're certainly not a good bullpen by any stretch of the imagination, but for a bad team, I don't think they're too bad. 4.20 ERA, 1.46 whip. Padres are hitting lefties, even though their sticks seem soft right now. And Mr. T2G, my man Rico, saying the game in general, the bullpens could get ugly. Well, we know that Padres bullpen, 1.34 ERA, 0.92 whip in May. Troy also liking this under. So I'm going to move on the full game under, and I think that's it. But I'm going to just put the first 5 under, and I'm going to leave it on that. I'm going to just take the full game under. That's good for me. All right, let's move on. Next up for 7:20 p.m. Eastern, Los Angeles Dodgers 30-19, 13-12 on the road at the Braves, 29-18, 12-11 at home at Truist Park in Atlanta, Georgia. And we have Bobby Miller's MLB debut. I'm looking forward to talk about Bobby Miller here. I'm looking forward to discuss this spot very much. So let's get after it here, get everything up. So first off, let's take a look at the line. Strider on the other side. Now, these two pitchers actually have gone up against each other out of the pen in college. Bobby was a first-round pick in 2020, I believe. I've double-checked that, but 2020 out of Louisville. Atlanta opening up minus 210. They're now minus 188. The big move towards the Dodgers. Wow. 18-cent move towards the Dodgers. Oh, that surprises me. 18-cent move towards the Dodgers. Let's take a look at the line history of this total. Opened up at 8.5. Opened up at 8. Opened up at 8. Wow. Got up to 8.5 by about dinner time last night, and then right back to 8 at 2 in the morning. Back to 8.5 at 10:49 this morning. So it's gone up a half run. So we have a move to the over and a move to the Dodgers. Move to the over, move to the Dodgers. 37% of the tickets and 83% of cash on the Dodgers. Wow. Then 42% of the tickets and 81% of cash is on the under. And we have this move to the over. This is not the market I was hoping that we would have revealed. I was hoping this was going to be an easy fade of Bobby Miller. I don't know what Bobby Miller is going to give you. First round pick out of 2020 out of Louisville. This guy throws upwards to 101 miles an hour, 101.5, hit 101.2 in his last outing. And then he's got a curveball that's low 80s. So you're going to see some wild swings up against him. And then he has had this very strange minor league run because he's been absolutely destroyed this year. Now, it's a very small sample size, 4 starts at Oklahoma City in the PCL. And we know it's an offensively driven league, but he's been touched up. He has been touched up for 9 earned runs, 13 runs altogether, and 14 in a third. Just 12 strikeouts and 6 walks. He's not looked good. Allowed 2 home runs in that time. And he didn't look very good in 2022. He started out in AA, had a 4.85 ERA in AA. Again, 31 walks, but he struck out 117 and 91. He went up to AAA, and he was a strikeout monster, 28 Ks and 21 in a third. But he's just looked quite a bit more vulnerable here. Spencer Strider coming off a start at Texas where he got touched up. He's been very good at home. 23 innings at home, Pete, and 41 strikeouts. I mean, that's just an unbelievable number. 167 opponent's batting average. Dodgers versus righties, 243, 763 OPS. Braves versus righties, 230, 700. So the Braves aren't hitting righties in May. Dodgers bullpen continues to be disappointing, whereas the Braves bullpen is actually kind of middling itself in May. Take it away for us here, Pete. How are you handling the MLB debut of Bobby Miller?
Yeah, I guess I'm going to pass Jimmy the Bag because, we've seen this before. A perfect example is Hunter Green, right? Guy who has just phenomenal stuff, but the consistency isn't there to give quality starts necessarily. I mean, Miller, his last start in AAA, though, was excellent, So, yeah, I mean, I'd want to fade him here, but I can't do it at this number. I forgot what the situation was yet in yesterday's game with the Dodgers. I took the Dodgers yesterday, but I don't remember the line. But, yeah, it's just too high of a line. But it makes a lot of sense. So again, it's like I'm leaning Atlanta team total over and the Dodgers money line. So I'm gonna pass again. Definitely don't trust Miller here, but not gonna pull the trigger on the Atlanta team total over because he, if he's on his game, he will throw a 6-inning 1-run start here in the majors as well. I think it's more likely that he doesn't, and that's about it. Jimmy the Bag. I'm not gonna take Atlanta at this line though.
No, and even with the market move towards the Dodgers, that kind of confounds me. So I guess unfortunately I was really expecting to move on this game, but this will not be a move for me.
Jim, can I dip out for 15 seconds? I'll be right back. Okay.
Yeah, of course, my man. All right, let's move on to 7:40 p.m. Eastern. Detroit Tigers 21-24, 11-14 on the road. The Kansas City Royals 14-35, 6-18 at home. We're at Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City, Missouri. Let's get over to the weather. We didn't talk about the weather in Atlanta, but it's nothing important. 4.6 miles per hour down to 3.5, so nothing important. Here, though, in Kauffman, 81 Fahrenheit at first pitch, 7.3 miles per hour right to left, goes down to 5.4 miles per hour. Let's take a look at the line history here for this one. We have another giant question mark. And I know I believe Bobby Miller is a giant question mark at this point, but we have another one, and it's Daniel Lynch will be starting, I believe. Do we all think Daniel Lynch is starting for? I believe this is going to be Daniel Lynch's first start of the season, but I don't know. We don't have that listed at this point. So let's see where we'll go to Will Hill for the line history. This opened up for Will Hill this morning at 9 at -110. Let's just see who does Bet365 have as the starter here. Still unknown pitcher. Well, I think it's going to be Daniel Lynch. I really do. Eduardo Rodriguez versus Daniel Lynch is going to be the plan. I guess it doesn't make sense to really study the market because there's so few tickets in. Let's see how many tickets are in here. If we can get a read from it here. Or maybe it's not even. Yeah, here we go. It's not even listed. 280 tickets in. So we don't need to talk too much about that. Rick J said Eduardo gave up runs last game because the center field dropped a fly ball with 2 outs. That hurt us badly, but he didn't pitch that well. He only got through 5 innings, had 6 hits, 4 earned runs, but those 2 really hurt us in the first inning. I said to myself, that's going to be the last time I'm on any spot with 95% of cash, and then I'm on the under in the Yankees game at 93% of the cash. So, on the road, he's been very good this year. Rodriguez, 30 innings, 1-2, 2.40 ERA, 196 opponent batting average. Nate Dogg is expecting Lynch, as am I. Tigers are not hitting lefties in May. 213, 640 OPS. I know they turned it around for a little bit, but that stopped. Royals are smashing lefties all of a sudden. 272, 839 OPS. The Tigers bullpen's been very good in May. 2.64 ERA, 1.27 WHIP. Royals bullpen 4.02 ERA, 1.49 WHIP. Let's discuss here Daniel Lynch. He's a pitcher that I thought was going to have a strong career. I really did, and he's 6'6", first round pick in 2018 out of University of Virginia, and he's just been very disappointing. Last year, he threw 131 and 2/3 innings. He had a 5.13 ERA and a 1.57 WHIP. When we go into the minors, he was hurt coming into the season, so he is only throwing 14 and a third innings. He did a 2 1/3 innings start at Northwest Arkansas. Then he had 3 starts at Omaha, AAA Omaha, and he didn't look good there. Basically, he's never looked good, other than, in university. Even in university, his ERA was over 5. I don't know what to make of Daniel Lynch, and I certainly don't trust him. But I love the way the Royals are hitting lefties, and if they can touch up Eduardo Rodriguez a little bit, I would think that this over would have to be live. Any interest in this, Pistol?
No, didn't even look at it. Don't have a line. Didn't even look at it.
I expect after this talking it out and the way the Royals are hitting lefties and how I believe Daniel Lynch is vulnerable to move on and over in this game. Again, we'll have to wait till the line comes out and the market history and all of that. And Joe Yerger says you're getting a lot of a bad Royals bullpen. I've been saying this since the start of the year, and I could be very wrong here, but I expect the Royals bullpen to be better than everybody intends. In May, they 4.02 ERA, 1.49 WHIP, not very good, but I really do have a feeling that they're going to be better than the market will give them credit for. Again, we'll have to see how that plays itself out. Let's move on to the next spot on the board. Pete, 7:40 p.m. Eastern. Houston Astros 28-19, 14-8 on the road at Milwaukee Brewers, 25-22, 13-9 at home. We're at American Family Field, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And this is the next spot on the board for Jose. There's blood on my tits, Bouquet. Looking at the Astros. He's been eating off the Astros. Welcome back, Jose. Let's set a quick table here for us in Milwaukee. First off, I know the wind doesn't factor in too much in Milwaukee, even when they do open up the roof, but that roof will be open. 76 Fahrenheit at first pitch, down to 68, 8.9 miles per hour in, down to 6.2 miles per hour. Let's take a look at the total and the line history here for this one. Ray versus JP France. France fresh off getting lit up and smoked in his last start. Let's get this up. So money line, we'll start with money line, and then we'll get into the total here. A money line with Milwaukee. The Brew Crew opening up at plus 118 and now plus 113. So there's been a 5-cent move towards the Brewers. 5-cent move toward the Brewers. This total opened up at 9.5 at a pick'em. That's exactly where it stands right now. So no movement on the total and a slight line move towards the Brewers. We take a look at the cash flow for this spot. We have 36% of the tickets and 86% of the cash on the Milwaukee Brewers, a 5-cent move towards them. Then we have 82% of the tickets and 96% of cash on the under, and it hasn't moved at all. JP France last start was ugly. 7-6 win at home versus the Cubs. Shows what kind of performance the Astros continue to put on, because he allowed 6 earned runs and 9 hits in 3 2/3, and yet they come back and win the game. Colin Ray on the other side has thrown 14 1/3 innings at home in Milwaukee and been just touched. 6.91 ERA, 296 opponents batting average. He's a 5.52 ERA and just looks bad out there. 25 Ks, 13 walks. Does not look good. Coming off allowing 4 earned runs in a win at home versus the Royals. Both offenses took care of their starting pitchers last out, but they're not playing that well. Astros versus righties, 245, 668 OPS. Brewers versus righties, 243, 714 OPS. The Astros bullpen, 3 runs per 9 innings better than the Brewers bullpen in May. Unbelievable. Take it away, Jose. Say hey, play today, Astros Brewers.
Yeah, this is just another kind of wake up and make these plays. I'm obviously a Red Sox fan, as many people know, so I'm not going to bet the Yankees, but it's the same thing as them. You know, they got Aaron Judge back. They went on their heater. Altuve comes back. They're going on their heater. We've mentioned this several times going into this. We said when Altuve comes back, it'll be bet the Astros, bet the Astros, bet the Astros. Unfortunately for us, they started their season, or the Altuve season, I should say, with the Oakland A's, so it made it a little difficult to back them, and I had to fade them, actually, with a minus 300 fade. No shout-out to the Oakland A's for that. But, yeah, I'm on them tripled up here. First 5 full game, -1 here. I actually kind of like that JP France is coming off of getting his tits ripped, honestly. A little bounce-back start here. And it's just one of those things. We're just going to bet the Astros most every day. I'm continuing doing it with the Cardinals. I bet them yesterday and I lost. I bet them today. We'll see how that goes. But it's just one of these waves that I've been riding as well.
This makes me nervous when your market analysis has been a big part of your success as well, to leave it alone here on this one. Why have you chosen that? You're just going to focus on a team that's winning and winning and winning and let go of
Yeah. The line was weird yesterday too, but I attributed that to being Corbin Burns being good enough, and I doubled up on the Astros yesterday and cashed easily, thankfully. It doesn't make me feel good that the Astros are coming off of a 12-1 win. You know, typically you want to go bet a team, before they go off, or not directly after they go off. But yeah, I just like the Astros here. I'll continue to bet them when I can. Price-wise, it's just one of those things that you have to roll with the team you like the best here. So yeah, the market analysis not in this one.
Not in this one. And then the JP France bounce back spot. I love bounce back. Like, the reason we were so heavy on the under on Sunday Night Baseball was because these were 2 great pitchers off of bad starts. I love great pitchers off of bad starts. I don't put JP France in that spot. I think he's
young and we don't know what he is yet. And I give, just as the Astros, or just as the Rays and the Yankees, we trust their pitching. I trust the Astros pitching more than the Yankees, but not as much as the Rays. So
I like it. Very interesting. Let's hear what Pistol has to say about this one, Astros Brewers.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree with that. I think that basically everything that Jose said, I would agree with. Liking Milwaukee here, I think it's much more likely to be kind of like a 4-3 game than another blowout for Houston. But yeah, the bullpen, the pitching, I think the Milwaukee starter is legit vulnerable overall, and Houston just rolling. The only thing is that the line is a little bit very suspiciously low. But yeah, for sure leaning Houston, and no-brainer style leaning team total overs for Houston as well.
My justification for the line being as low as it is that let me double check the standings real quick. Technically, these Milwaukee Brewers are still a first-place ball club. First-place ball club still. And JP France, not good, allegedly, in the eyes of the people, and he's still a young pitcher. So I'm hoping that is the reasons why that the line is lower than anticipated. But Colin Ray obviously is hot garbage. So
96% of the cash on the under, and the line not moving. It's a lot of fishiness. All right, can you give me the lines here for you, Jose?
-130 for the money line, and same with the first 5 money line as well. And then -1's -107. And I tweeted all these out as well.
You are locked in. Triple up for Jose on the Astros. A spot makes me very nervous, but I'm not going to be on the other side of it. I like it. So we'll bring you back for the Red Sox game. Thank you for rolling here, Jose. There is blood all over my tits. Bouquet. Let's move on to 7:40 p.m. Eastern. New York Mets 25-23, 13-14 on the road. Chicago Cubs 20-26, 11-11 at home. Wrigley Field in Chicago, Illinois. Ronnie and Bergia also going to be on Houston as well. Kodai Senga here going up against Drew Smiley. 2 very interesting pitchers. Kodai Senga has become very strong at home. And on the road, it's a small sample size, but he's being touched. 288 opponents batting average in 20 innings, 6.30 ERA. coming off an excellent start at home over the Rays. 6 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 12 Ks, 3 walks. Drew Smyly has been just very good, especially at Wrigley. Man, has he been good at Wrigley. 21 innings, 2.14 ERA, 26 strikeouts, and 5 walks. Opponents hitting 139 off of him. Sean Pulliam in the house. Great to see you. Brandon the Great on Senga K's over. And Drew Smyly coming off of taming the Astros. Now, they lost that game 7-6, but he only allowed 1 earned run. It was a solo shot over 6 innings. The Mets aren't ticky-tack against lefties in May, 258, 714 OPS. Cubs versus righties, just 231, 702 OPS, and both bullpens have been bad in May. Let's take a look at the weather and the line history and the cash, and then hand it over to Pistol Pete Loshak for 66 Fahrenheit for weather, 8.6 miles per hour in, goes down to 5.5 miles per hour. Let's take a look at the total here for this one. Smyly for Senga at Pinnacle. This opened up at 8, moved to 8.5. It was 8.5 this morning when I took a closer look at it. It didn't come out at Pinnacle till late, and now it's at 8 again. So it went up to 8.5. Now it's at 8. Take a look at the cash flow then for this one, the Smyly spot. Pinnacle opening up the Cubs at minus 103. Right now they're minus 104. Like 1 cent of movement, very minimal move. Let's take a look at the cash flow then for this one. 47% of the tickets, 67% of the cash on the Chicago Cubs, and then 88% of the tickets and cash on the under. Take it away for us here, Pete. Mets, Cubs.
Once again, I think I'm going to be on the Cubs, although it makes me nervous. Again, 90% of the bets and picks I've made this year made me nervous, but overall I've done okay. And I've done quite well, actually, although, of course, many of those lost, and I've had some disastrously bad days, some awesomely good days as well. Senga struggles on the road. We know that. Smyly continues to be consistent and good, and I think that's I'm going to not try to time when that ends, and leaning Cubs, but I guess I won't make an official play on it.
I am going to be right with Jake Burns. I will be on the Cubs first 5.
Yeah, and then leaning Cubs first 5 as well. Yeah,
I believe in what we're seeing from Drew Smyly at home. I'm not sure what to do with Senga's struggles on the road, but they're evident. And I don't want to have anything to do with the Cubs bullpen.
Right.
And I think there's sharp money on the Cubs, and I'm going to support it and back it. And I'm on the Cubs first 5.
I'll go on that one with you, Jimmy the Bag. You can make that official. At Heritage right now, I'm seeing minus 105. This one makes me nervous, but pretty much every pick I make will make me nervous when I make it and say it. Cubs, first 5, minus 105, current line Heritage. We'll throw that one on there.
Nutflush Allen adding that the Mets can't hit. Troy Torrance says Cubs haven't been very good at this price at home. I like it.
Yeah, makes me nervous. No, I don't like it, but I'm on it.
It makes me nervous. It makes me nervous backing the Cubs. But the Mets, I don't trust. And I don't trust them on the road. And I like it enough to make the bet and put money on it. I haven't done that yet, but I will be doing that after the show. All right. Larry Gar says, give me the Cubs back home after a long road trip away. Let's move on to 7:40 p.m. Eastern. That's next up for us. San Francisco Giants, 23-24, 8-13 on the road at the Minnesota Twins, 25-23, 14-9 at home. Target Field, Minneapolis, Minnesota. I found this line wild, absolutely wild, and threw me for a loop. First off, these two pitchers have been very good, especially Sonny Gray at home. But the market was moving towards the over and had to stop me in my tracks. And then I'll just talk it out with you guys. 80 Fahrenheit at first pitch, 6.8 miles per hour right to left. Stays between 6.8 and 5.3 miles per hour. Let's take a look at the line histories here for this one. We have total-wise a move to the over. I still haven't quite figured it out, but this opened up 7.5 juice to the under at minus 113. If you watch, I've been keeping kind of an eye on this line. It's been pretty wild. It immediately started moving to the over. 16 minutes in, 42 minutes after that, it was just nonstop move to the over. So it took an hour and about 37 minutes for it to get to 8. Then it only lasted 8 for 2 minutes before it was back at 7.5. stayed at 7.5, and then back at 8 at midnight. And once again, it only lasted there for 45 minutes. Back at 8 at 6:30 this morning, down to 7.5, and then bouncing back and forth. It again went back to 7.5 at 9:36 a.m., and it's back at 8 right now. And God, it went back to 7.5 again at 11:34 a.m. And then 28 minutes ago, back at 8. So very, very, every time it gets to 8, it looks like cappers are moving on the under. Let's take a look and see what the money line has done. Maybe that will help illuminate the situation a bit. We have the Twins opening up at -131. They're now -145, a 14-cent move over to them. This got up as high as -151. So I think this is telling me that Sonny Gray is going to be great again at home, even though he seems to get in some trouble, but he gets out of that trouble. We have 81% of the tickets and 93% of the cash on the Minnesota Twins. Is that too much, I wonder? 39% of the tickets and 77% cash on the over. Vitalis says, what's Cobb's stats on the road? 21 innings, and he's been quite good. Now, they are hitting 294 against them, but it's mainly ticky-tack singles. 21 innings, 1-0, 2.14 ERA. He's coming off a poor performance at home against the Phillies, 3 1/3, 5 hits, 2 earned runs. It wasn't that bad, but didn't last long. He's been excellent this year, though. 1.94 ERA, 1.35 WHIP. Sonny Gray at home has been nothing short of spectacular. 30 1/3, 3-0, 0.89 ERA. Opponents hitting 181 off of him. He's coming off a start that didn't go so well at the Dodgers. 4 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 4 Ks, 3 walks. Wasn't terrible. The Giants versus righties in May, they're not hitting them. 219, 657. And the Twins aren't hitting righties either in May. 212 batting average, 708 OPS. And both bullpens have been good in May. Decent, middling, which is a big improvement for the Giants. Take it away for us here, Pete. Giants, Twins.
I think that the Giants, they currently have a logjam of players, right? They're trying to figure out where they fit in the lineup, and it's crucial to see the lineup. That's my take on this game. I like that. No, I'm just kidding. That's exactly what Nutflesh Allen posted here, and I just copied that word for word, verbatim. My initial leans were San Francisco and the over. But really, I would wait for the lineups, wait to see what Nutflesh Allen has to say about it, and then do whatever he recommends. I agree, it's a little bit fishy, but Cobb last start was a little bit off. He gave up some walks. Sonny Gray still good, but less lights out, and I would definitely be leaning over. And at the current lines, leaning San Francisco, and mostly just waiting to see what Nutflesh has to say about this game.
So you do not believe that Sonny Gray's close to what these numbers indicate at home?
Close to it?
Yeah.
I believe that we might see him start to wilt a little bit going forward. How much, I'm not exactly sure. But I don't believe that he's going to be lights out like he was to start the year going forward. That's my opinion.
He's gotten out of a lot of trouble. Gets in trouble, gets out of it. I am going to have to stay off this spot, but it's clear there's sharp money on the over. I mean, that much is clear. Rocco Rogers says he likes the Giants here. Had them end the under yesterday, and with Cobb here, it'd be hard to back off. Rick J says he may start betting live unders if San Francisco scores their early runs. Troy Torrance saying Sonny Gray's command is impressive. Joe Yurkovich says Twins have a nice home road advantage in this game, but they're not hitting well right now. Rem Most looking at like an under 8. And Razor Sharp Picks video for his Gambler's First Glance on Cleveland Moneyline is up. Okay, let's move on to the next game because this one's a very fascinating cap. We have the 6'8", number one pitcher prospect in the Marlins franchise, Yuri Perez, who's looked very strong in just 9 2/3 of work in the majors, 2 starts, 13 strikeouts, 3 walks, coming off 5-3 win at home versus the light-hitting Nats, having to pitch his first road start in Major League Baseball in Colorado at Coors Field. Very, very fascinating spot. And I would like to fade him. But I want to study everything first and talk it out with you guys. Austin Gomber, 6.70 ERA, 1.53 WHIP. He has not been good this year. There was a time where it looked like he was turning it around. Coming off an 11-6 win at home over the Reds. I believe that was against Ashcraft. 4 1/3, 8 hits, 5 earned runs, 1 homer, 1 K, 2 walks. Nutflush Allen says, I was at the Angels and looked extremely closely at the Twins at bats, and he said not good. And even if they put up 6 swings, they were not impressive. Nate Dogg looking at the Coors Field fade for this one. The Marlins are smashing lefties. So I don't know if I've said that in May. 273, 800 OPS. And the Rockies are smashing righties. 279, 774 OPS. Both bullpens are pitching quite well right now. Marlins bullpen in May, 3.49 ERA, 1.42 whip. Rockies bullpen in May, 3.58 ERA, 1.38 whip. Let's take a look at the weather here in Colorado. We have 75 Fahrenheit, 6.9 miles per hour right to left, slightly out. Then we'll take a look at the line history here for both of the money line and the spread. Money line wise, this opened up with Gomber at plus 106, which is exactly where he is right now. There have been a couple different times where the market's moved towards Yuri Perez and it's just come right back. I want Gomber. I hope that the cash flow lines up with this. I would like to bet Gomber here. Let's take a look at the total for this one. This one opened up at 11.5. Oh, excuse me. It opened up at 11. I thought it opened up 11.5 everywhere. It opened up at 11 and lasted there till midnight. Midnight, it got to 11.5. Right now, it's a pick'em at 11.5. So we have a move to the over and no move on the side. Take a look at the cash flow for this one. We have 88% of tickets and 93% of the cash on the Marlins, and the line's not moving towards them. Then you have 36% of tickets and 89% cash on the over. Wow, this is a fascinating spot. Take it away for us here, Pete. Marlins, Rockies.
Okay, and actually, you know what? I'm going to put a play on the San Francisco game in a second after we talk about this. But yeah, I understand. I mean, I know the line has moved towards Colorado. Here I would be. I think that Austin Gomber is going to be a bit vulnerable. I'm thinking about Miami. I'm thinking about the Miami team total over at just 5.5. That's something that I'm thinking about. And if you want to write it down, I'm seeing it Heritage right now. Giants, San Francisco Giants -1 plus 184. You can put that down for me, Jimmy the Bag. Giants -1 plus 184. Current line at Heritage as an official play. Got it?
You've got it locked. -1 at plus 184. Well, I'm interested. You think Gomber is vulnerable. What are your expectations on Yuri Perez's first road start, or is that just too difficult to kind of put together?
Yeah, it's a little bit difficult. I think I'm expecting him to be a little bit better than people are thinking. This guy is his first start. I mean, he gave up a couple home runs in his first, bunch of home runs in his first 2 starts at home. I think he'll be okay here. I'm expecting 6-2, maybe 5-3. I'd be a little bit surprised if he was worse than that,
Wow.
But the market's obviously disagreeing with me.
They are. And my initial instinct is with what I believe is the sharp money on the over in this one.
Nutflush Allen says, Pete, that Miami team total over is a good look.
I wish this weather was a little more offensive. But I'm going to be sticking.
You know what? We can take that. You can give me the pinnacle line, 5.5 minus 123. Now we're adding on plays here. Jimmy the Bag. Team total, full game team total over, 5.5 minus 123. Miami Marlins, full game team total over, 5.5 minus 123. Official play. Line of pinnacle. Current line of pinnacle.
And I think everything correlates for me here. So I'm going to get involved on overs. Let me just take one last look at the cash once more again on this one. Yes. Okay. I'm going to be on the first 5 over and the full game over. This is a double up over for me. A little late to the party. If this lands at 11, I'll take the L. Right now, Bet365 is offering the total at 6.5 plus 105. So I'll have to see what BetOnline's offering. But first 5 over and full game over for me. Mr. Heat agreeing this could be an over spot. Says Perez could be on a short leash. Maybe I should slow down here for a second. Maybe it should just be a first 5 over. I've been somewhat impressed with both bullpens, a little bit more impressed, but they're both smashing. They're both hitting right now. Okay, I'm definitely going to be on the first 5 over. That's going to be for sure. And then I'll have to think about the full game over a little bit more. Okay. And Pete's locked in with the Marlins team total over 5.5 and -123. All right, we have 2 games left on the board before we are welcomed by none other than Wham Bam 30-30. Next up, 9:38 p.m. Eastern, the Boston Red Sox 26-22, 11-11 on the road at the LA Angels 26-23, 13-10 at home at Angel Stadium in Anaheim, California. Taint play of the day is in. Marlins first 5 -1/2. Marlins first 5 -1/2. So Taint does not believe that Yuri Perez will get hurt here, or he thinks maybe he does get touched, but Gomber will get touched that much more. Taint play of the day is in. So we're going to be able to talk about Taint play of the day and spreadsheet play of the day, and then bring on Jose. So first off, Taint play of the day is in. Marlins first 5 -1/2. Then in our Red Sox Angels game, we have the spreadsheet play of the day in, and it is none other than the Boston Red Sox. The Boston Red Sox for our friend Ron Crawford. Marco Rogers also on the Red Sox money line. We have Jose Bouquet back in action with us. We're in Angel Stadium in Anaheim, California. Let's touch on the weather here. 65 Fahrenheit, 8.6 miles per hour out to left center. Goes from 8.6 to 8.4, always out to left center. Let's take a look at the line history here and then set a very quick table and hear what Jose thinks about Bello and his Red Sox in this spot. First off, total-wise, this opened up at 9.5, juice to the under. It's 4-cent move to the under since then. I like what Bello is doing. I think he's bet on right now. From a money line perspective, this opened up with the Red Sox -109. They're now -108. A 1-cent move to the Red Sox. Let's take a look at the cash flow then for this Red Sox Angels spot. We have 48% of tickets, 57% of cash on the Angels. Then 58% of tickets and 99% of the cash on the over. 58% of tickets, 99% cash on the over. And there's been a 4-cent move. That's tricky to figure out. Bello coming off a 12-3 win at home over the Mariners. 5 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 7 Ks, 5 walks. The K to walk ratio was messed up in that game, but that's not been a problem of his thus far. 31 strikeouts and 12 walks through 28 in the third. He looks good. He's being touched a little bit up on the road, but the sample size is just too small. He's only throwing 10 2/3 on the road. Griffin Canning does not look good. He's coming off of the back issues that plagued him for 2 years, and he does not look good. 6.14 ERA, 1.50 whip. He's allowed 5 home runs and 29 in the third. His last start, a 3-1 loss at the Orioles, 5 in the third, 9 hits, 3 earned runs. At home, he's been atrocious. 6.59 ERA, 264 opponent's batting average. Red Sox are hitting righties hard in May. 283, 791 OPS. So are the Angels, 281, 769 OPS. And both bullpens are mediocre or worse in May. Jose Bouquet, are you back in Bello here?
I am. Yeah, I'm gonna. This is a late-ish addition to me. I'm gonna add it now. Red Sox full game money line -115. The line didn't worry me a little bit. I will be honest, but I believe in Brian Bello. The offense got shut down yesterday. I think they bounced back. Griffin Canning not good. The Angels offense is good, and I definitely lean towards an over here as well. But that seems a little bit too easy. But Red Sox money line for me, bounce back at the win.
Yeah, this is a very fishy line. I was certain that I was going to back Bello. I thought I was going to back Bello. I'm not after seeing this line. Jose, what did you get? Oh, do you want me to line chop then? I can line chop for you?
Sure. Yeah, I'm going to bet -115. But yeah, for show purposes, obviously. But yeah, I expected this line to be like -130 and +108, kind of like what the Guardians line is today. So I was a little concerned about that, but I do think the Red Sox win this game.
-108 at Pinnacle. Jose is on the Red Sox at -108. Pistol Pete, what do you think of this spot? Bello versus Canning?
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking that, Boston team total at the very least would be a decent play here. I was thinking run in the first, yes. Don't understand why Pinnacle has such a low first 5 team total for Boston though. It's 2.5 plus 100. The under is the over. The under is 121.
Wouldn't you say, Pete, that the market's screaming that Canning is going to have a decent start here?
Yeah,
but 99% of the cash on the over 9.5.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, weird stuff. And I was also thinking about a run in the first inning. Yes,
and both of your Nerfies and yes, run first inning have been successful thus far this year.
Yeah. Okay. Let's. Yeah, we can. Where is it? We can start with that. It's a market line minus 130. So run in the first, yes, minus 130. We can start with that. Boston Angels run in first, yes, minus 130. That's an official play.
This is a stay-off spot for me. I'd planned on backing Bayo, but something doesn't smell right. Okay. Jose has the Red Sox minus 108. Ron Crawford spreadsheet play today is the Boston Red Sox. And we have one game left before we talk NBA game 4.
Yeah.
Jose,
quick addition. Another fishy line. You guys, I was a fishy line that I didn't bet, and then you guys got on it. So I'm going to join you guys. Cubs first 5 full game. I expected Senga to just be a bigger favorite there. The Cubs struggling, and yeah, I just think the Cubs end up winning that game now.
Jose on the Cubs first 5 and full game. Let's joining us. We're just on the first 5, but I like that you are on both. Let's just do a very quick line shop for you here.
Yeah, Bobano's inspired me to do the splits. I guess it's been working out for me. So shout to him.
Minus 104 for the full game.
While you search for that, Jimmy, I'll just remind everyone, it's not NBA time yet. Don't let us win tonight. Don't let us win tonight. We've got PD in game 6, PD in game 5, Schill in game 6. Anything can happen in game 7. Don't let us win tonight. Don't fucking let us do it.
That's cute. It's really cute. Arthur Meade Jr., we love you. What a guy. Thank you for believing in us and the support here. You're a good man, and we love capping with you. Arthur, my man. And CFL's back, baby. Okay, so the first 5 on the Cubbies we can get at minus 110. I need to pull up Pinnacle. I'm going to pull up Pinnacle. I think I can find a better number than what's being shown there, and it's not being shown on my sheet, or on my site. All right, let's move on to the final game on the board, and we'll let Rocco lead us in. A's money line plus 205 says this is the best shot they've had in weeks to win. And I'm going to believe that Medina can keep them in the game. He didn't look terrible last game. I believe all the runs he gave up were in the first inning. Jake Burns says, could you imagine the amount of shit they would talk if Celtics came back and won? I don't need to imagine it. There's no fairy tales in Shawshank, Jake. Luis Medina going up against Marco Gonzalez. Let's take a look at the weather first in Seattle. 59 Fahrenheit down to 57. I presume they'll have the roof open. It is a little chilly. I'd love that someone could confirm whether the roof will be open there. 7.3 down to 6.8 miles per hour in. Let's take a look at the line history for this one. Our final spot on the board before we get into NBA. Total wise here, we have the opener at 8.5, which is where it is now. It did get up to 9 for a while. And then just a little after noon, it went back to 8.5. So there's been a 9-cent move on the over. Let's take a look at the cash line. 9-cent move to the over. That's first 5. Sorry, let me just move over to full game. Here we go. And let's take a look at what we are dealing with. At Pinnacle, the Mariners opened up at minus 235. They're now minus 201. Wow, 29-cent move to the Oakland A's. Wild. Medina has been poor thus far, but you were right. That last start was a good start, a quality start. 6 innings, 3 earned runs, 2 homers, 6 Ks, 2 walks, the 5-3 loss at home versus Arizona. Marco Gonzalez coming off getting just lit up and smoked at Boston. And Jose talked about what his numbers are in Boston. They just seem to be all over him. At home, he's been a little better. 4.76 ERA, 262 points batting average, only 17 innings. A's versus lefties in May, 257.19 OPS. Mariners, 247.02 OPS. The Mariners bullpen has come back a little bit, but 3.40 ERA, 1.25 whip in May. A's bullpen, 6.28 ERA, 1.66 whip in May. The cash flow is the same every time we look at the A's, Pete. There's just sharps and syndicates and whatever it is that believe they hold a lot of value, especially on the road. 29% of the tickets and 86% of cash on the A's, and we have a big move towards them. And then just 12% of tickets are on the under, but 36% of cash is on the under. That makes it appealing for me to move on that under. Let's hear what you have to say, Pete. Take it away. A's, Mariners.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure. I probably, I haven't. I mean, I don't track team by team, but I know generally how well I'm doing with each team, and I probably have a losing record with Oakland from being on them more than perhaps I should have been, at least in terms of their final scores. This one is I don't know. I think it's a good spot for Marco Gonzalez. I think he'll have a better start here than how he's been pitching, recently and this year. And, I definitely am not a believer in Medina. Not that he can't look excellent for a few innings in a row, but at some point he runs into trouble. I guess I'm going to pass here, but, I wouldn't want Seattle as this big of a favorite, I guess. But I don't know what I'm going to do as far as my actual pick is concerned privately and whether I'm going to bet it. But I don't know. I'm not, this has been, I don't want to give any, information that these fucking, AI bots can use to improve their ship. We saw this with Baltimore when Baltimore was that year when they were terrible. They were also a team that a lot of these, supposedly super, super smart guys were repeatedly betting on as a huge dog and losing with. And I was not buying that. And it's the same deal. I forgot what year that was when Oakland was absolutely awful, when they were the worst that they've been that year. A lot of supposedly sharp outfits and syndicates, whatever, were on them. And I'm not a believer in Oakland here either. I'm not saying I'm on Seattle, but it's definitely not an autoplay on Oakland for me. I'm going to pass. My point is they remind me of Baltimore from 3 years ago, or whenever that year was.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. This is what I want to speak on, Pete, is this reminds me of a bet I let go in this exact same situation. The market, had sort of moved to the over, and I was like, man, I'm telling you, this is an under, and I didn't bet it because the market had done this, and I don't want to. I got to stop doing that because we've already seen signs when this gets to 9 that it comes back down, and this is the Ben Lively Clark Schmidt game on Friday. Yankees won that game 6-2. The unders cashed comfortably, and I didn't bet them, and I'm not going to make that mistake here. I think that Marco Gonzalez bounces back. I think Medina is better than his numbers indicate. I think that the Mariners are 702 OPS versus righties with 240 average, so not hitting with power. The A's versus lefties are decent, but don't have a ton of power. I think that this is an under spot, Pete.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree with that either. Let me see what my notes were. I have no opinion on the total as yet.
Well, I don't know if.
No, I agree with you. Actually, I agree with you on the lean to the
double
under.
Up. I'm going to be on the full game under for sure. That's still at 9 at -120. We see books dropping to 8.5 every time it gets up to 9. I'm definitely going to be on the full game under. The question is, will I be on the first 5 under as well? I'm going to start. So this is I need to say this out loud. If I believe that a spot is, and there's bigger bets coming in on the under, and the line's moved, 10 cents or whatever in the opposite direction, I'm going to start firing, because here you have 88% of tickets on the over. Of course, it's going to move 10 cents. It should move something. And I'm going to start firing on these spots, and I'll start tracking them individually. I'm going to be on the under for sure, the full game under, possibly the first 5 under as well. And this is a pretty wild spot for this. Like at Bet365, the full game under is 9. The first 5 under is 4.5. I think there's signs saying that this game goes under, and I'm going to move on it. Phillies backwoods going to be rolling with me Respect. I like it. Rocco says, I figure Marco would pitch better too here. I just think if Medina can keep them in the game in a close game, the A's have a good shot here because they've at least shown they can hit lefties. Oh, yeah. Rocco, I don't think there's anything wrong with your move. And we saw Pete with great success last year back the A's, whether it was the team total over or what it was on the road. But they hit better when they get out of Oakland Coliseum. I don't think there's anything wrong with your action, and it's following the sharp action. So Fernando Mendoza is on the other side on the over with 88% of the public. And I think that will get up to over 90 because the public sees a 6.88 ERA and a 6.10 ERA. And that was the exact same thing that happened with Schmidt and Lively. So one of us will cash, Fernando, my man. Okay. That is our MLB here. Let's review all action on the board. First off, the Guardians is razor sharp picks. Gambler's first glance. Jose's on the Guardians money line and Guardians -1. And I'm going to be rolling with the Guardians as well. Let's just take a quick, very, very fast look to see if anything has changed there from the line movement that we were seeing earlier. And looks like, a 2-cent move back? Let me just see this for... Yes, there's been a 2-cent move back towards the White Sox since we've talked about this. I'm very, very comfortable. Very comfortable with that. So I'm going to be adding the Guardians. I think it's Pirates or pass. I don't want to go up against Eovaldi, especially after how good he was. So I expect not to be on this game. Loshak's on the Phillies first 5 team total over 2.5 -115. I'm going to be on the first 5 over. I expect to be on the first 5 over in St. Louis, Cincinnati. I'm not sure if I pull the trigger on the Red Sox first 5. Lamont Williams, max betting, Tampa and Toronto, full game over. We have stayed off of that spot. Pete Loshak's on the Orioles +1 at +101. Those are the only 2 bets I made last night. I'm on the full game under 8 at -120 and the first 5 under 4 at -105. Those are both available at Bet365. I'm going to be on the full game under in San Diego, Washington. Dodgers, Braves, we have stayed off. I have some interest in the over in Detroit, Kansas City, but I want some tickets to come. I want to be able to analyze some sort of a market, which hasn't happened yet. Jose is tripling up on the Astros, first 5 full game and full game -1. Pete and I are off. Pete and I are both on the Cubs first 5. Jose is now on the Cubs first 5 in full game as well. Pete's on the Giants -1 at +184. Taint play today is the Marlins first 5 -0.5. Loshak's on the Marlins team total over 5.5. I'm going to be moving on I'm not sure if I double up here, but first 5 over, yes, for sure. Will I also be on the full game over? Probably. Jose's on the Red Sox -108. Pete's on the yes run first inning at -130. And Ron Crawford is on the Boston Red Sox. Then I will have the first 5 under and full game under in Oakland, Seattle. I expect to have both of them. I'll have at least one of them. That is our MLB breakdown for today, Pete, my friend. Which means we move on to the National Basketball Association. Game 4 of the Eastern Conference. Never before have both the Western Conference Finals and Eastern Conference Finals finished in a sweep. And that is what could happen here. Mike M says, Pete, birthday tomorrow. Only care about getting a birthday pick. No cake, no presents.
Oh, no.
Just a Loshak pick. Last year you gave me a -300. He says, less juice would be nice. It is what it is. I imagine the cash, though, right, Mike? Sweaty Butcher in the house. What up, my guy? Sweaty Butcher, OG Lowbagger. Okay, let's bring on our expert as well as our producer who's heavily involved in this series. First off, from Compton, California, our NBA expert rolling with us every Tuesday. Please welcome Wham Bam 3000 to the show.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
What up, Wham Bam? And it did cash. It was Real Madrid first half -1 and -300. Real Madrid, I should say. Okay, so you dipping your toe in La Liga? Is that La Liga? I don't even know how to pronounce that. But
yeah, La Liga.
La Liga. Interesting. We have Nasty Nate throwing up lucky clovers for these Celtics. Let's bring on a man now known for the blood coming right up to the nipple, Jose Bouquet, to this show.
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great, lads. I didn't hear no bell, motherfuckers. I didn't hear no bell. No bell been heard over here. Celtics quit last game. Guess what? Ain't no quit today. Again, PD in game 5. Shield game 6. Anything happens in game 7, damn it. I've already seen the quotes. Marcus Smart said, don't let us win tonight. Jaylen Brown said, do not let us win tonight. Do not let the Boston Celtics win tonight, God damn it. Kill us off, Jimmy. Cut our heads off, Jimmy. Do it today. Because you know what, Jimmy? If you don't, Jimmy, we're coming for you. Jimmy, Tyler Hero, Bam Adebayo. I respect all of them. A lot more than I respect the Philadelphia 76ers because they're a worthy opponent. They have some backbone. They have some balls. They've competed against the Celtics before. Jimmy Butler took a shot last year from 3 that almost made me die. And guess what? Do not let us win tonight. Shield game 6, PD game 5. Anything can happen game 7.
Are you betting them to win the series right now?
Of course I will. I bet them live to win the fucking game last night or whatever the fuck it was. I bet them they were down like 40. I was like, they're not going to just roll over and die, right? They rolled over and died. Plus 430 didn't fucking matter. But guess what, guys? I believe, the fucking team believes, do not let us win tonight. Plus 650 official play. Let's go.
All right. Let's discuss this spot. First off, Kong's Clips is on the Celtics minus 5.5 at plus 196. Boston Celtics on the alternate line at plus 196. Let's take a look at the line history here. Game 4 of the Eastern Conference Finals. This one is going to be very fun to watch. I'm still angry about not catching the unders that I had in the last game. But let's take a look at what we are dealing with right now at Pinnacle. This is the first time. I believe this would be the first time all playoffs that the Heat are a favorite. I believe. That's fair? First time all playoffs that they're a favorite. They opened up at -1. They're now -1.5. So they moved a half point. Let's take a look at the total for this one. From a total side of things, this opened up at 215 at some offshores. But let's see what Pinnacle opened this up at. They also opened up at 214.5. Wow. This is all the way up to 217.5. 217.5. Let's take a look at the cash flow for this one. That's a big move to the over. And, God, I'm going to have to get involved in under again, I think, because I think that move is wrong. 72% of the tickets are on the Heat, but just 38% of the cash. So there are big bets coming in on the Boston Celtics. From a total side of things, 88% of the tickets are on the over and 54% of the cash. I love 12% and 46% on the under, but I don't like this line, total moving up as fast as it's moving. Series is being played at 97.17 possessions a game. We've talked often throughout. We don't need to keep hammering it, but the Heat are the only team whose pace has gone up in the playoffs. The Heat won Game 3 at home on Sunday night, 128-102 to take that 3-0 stranglehold. There has never been a number 8 seed that won an NBA playoff game by 26 points in the history of the league. Boston was down 33 in Game 3. That's the second biggest deficit that the Celtics have faced all season. Gabe Vincent, another one of their undrafted stars, went for 29 points. Duncan Robinson, 22. Caleb Martin, 18. Jimmy Butler finished with 16. Bam had 13. And Max Strus had 10. I'm going to have to continue this in a second. My son is losing his mind here in the door beside me. So let me go deal with this here, and we'll come back to the breakdown. But Pete, take over, and I'll be right back.
All right. I don't know, man. You guys know this a lot better than I do, but I got to think. And I'm almost certainly going to bet it. At the very least, Boston first half, money line. If it loses, okay, it's just 1 unit. It's not like, oh my God, my entire bankroll at minus 10,000. 1 unit, minus 108, minus 110, whatever you're seeing. I'm seeing plus a half at minus 115, stuff like that. At the very least, Boston first half. Trot Wam, what do you think of that?
Yeah, this is my guy, Jose. I love how he broke down out there. They said, "Don't let them win tonight." I mean, who's ever trying to let someone win?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It's so hard. It's so hard to like figure out what's behind the line, read between the lines of these, NBA exhortations.
Right. I mean, I honestly, I can only understand. I totally understand with the Celtics first half. I mean, this is as desperate as you get. Season on the line. Lakers. I think the Lakers won the first half or at least they. I think they won the first half last night, so they still have some type of desperation. I think that both games yesterday's games kind of just showed us once one of the teams that's up 3-0. Once they go on a crazy run, it kind of will demoralize the other team, especially if they find them way having a good run early on, and somehow, some way, the other team today would be the Miami Heat just somehow keep it in close enough to make a huge strike, which we kind of could say that it will come in the third quarter. Major adjustments from this guy, Spoelstra, all playoff long. In the third quarter, second half. I mean, they've been pretty much killing in the third quarter all playoff long. I'm not going against them, man. I told myself since the Knicks series, I'm not betting against the Heat. I'm not doing that. I lost way too much money. I bet against them in the play-in. I bet against them in the first round. The second round, I learned my lesson. So now in this game, I'm not betting against them again, bro. I know this hasn't been a sweep in the Western and Eastern Conference Finals on the same year. I think it's always a time for one thing to happen that we've never seen before, and that's one thing I think that will happen. I think that the problem with this Celtics team is they just don't got the guy to do it. It's like the guy that's supposed to take them to the promised land is fucking Jason Tatum, bro, and he cannot do it. He just cannot do it. Similar to what you seen with the Lakers yesterday, AD is not that guy. LeBron is old. Jaylen Brown is a second. He's a great second piece for sure. But the fact that he had a bad game, and he really kind of had the bad game that, the last 2 games he haven't had a really good game. But that bad game yesterday, last game, 0 for 7 from 3, that's kind of really like demoralizing, man. Like you really need guys like Jaylen Brown to step up in here. And honestly, I don't see it. I think even if it ain't Gabe Vincent, who had 29 points last game, it could be Max Strus, who's been pretty quiet this series. It could also be Duncan Robinson, who I thought was going to be scared off the floor with defense, but he's found a way to stay on the floor and be able to be competitive. So I could only go Heat here. Took the Heat minus 124 money line. I think it sweeps up tonight, man. Bring out the brooms. I think Adebayo finally has a good game on both ends of the floor. I just really believe that this Celtics team, the only way they're going to be able to win this game is if they shoot crazy from 3, and we haven't really seen that all playoff long. So it's the opposite from this Heat team, man. They continue to shoot over 40% in each series so far this playoffs. I think they're going to win the NBA Finals if they continue to shoot this way. The only issue that I'll have for them against Jokic and them is down low, of course. But give me the Heat, man. Unfortunately, y'all, this is going to be my last time on here on Tuesday because there's no NBA games. I looked ahead. There's no NBA games on Friday or on Finals on Tuesday. So unless my guys, request me here on a different day, Tuesday we won't have any NBA games. So I think I'm going to have to leave you guys with the Heat money line. And I did take the Heat to win before the series started to win the championship at plus 1,400. I thought I was going to have them and the Lakers to hedge, but now it just seems like I'm a Heat fan now. So go Heat, bro. Heat minus 24 money line. It's official bet for me, man. I think this Bruins is up tonight.
And this might be Jonathan Muniz says the moment coach said I lost the guys in the locker room, that's a wrap mentality. There you go. Comment from Jonathan Muniz. Does that about sum it up, Trot Wam, you think?
I mean, you think about I think I seen something that Joe Mazzulla, he lost to Jimmy Butler against Marquette in the NCAA, and he just gonna continue to lose against him, bro. So I wouldn't be surprised if the locker room was lost. I mean, this wasn't supposed to be their coach in the first place, and this series, I mean, similar to the Golden State Warriors, both of those teams had off-season issues that ran into the season. And when no one really wanted to talk about it, soon as the playoffs was over for the Golden State Warriors, I was telling everybody there was Poole got socked out. They said that was the defining moment in their series, and they up front and said that. I wouldn't be surprised after tonight you hear those same thing coming from them guys talking about Udoka tonight. So give me the Heat, man.
You got it. The Heat. BJ's got 2,000 on Boston Celtics money line tonight. Well, I mean, one thing we can say when we go over the numbers: Jaylen Brown 2 of 20 from 3. Tatum and Jaylen Brown in Game 3 combined to go 1 of 14 from 3. So the Celtics in this series are shooting 29.2% from 3, while the Heat are shooting 47.8% from 3. So, it's fair to say that there'll be, regression to the mean for both of these basketball teams. Unfortunately, it feels like there is something weighing down the Celtics. And in Game 4, down 3-0, do we expect, regression to the mean? This is not just your everyday game. There's a ton of pressure on Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, and again, they are buckling under that pressure. So I don't know if you can expect it to anything to change. I don't know if anything is going to change here, personally. And the Heat, they know that they have to win Game 4, and I think that was a little different in that Yankees-Red Sox series personally, because the Yankees were juggernauts. They weren't an 8th seed that had to prove to everybody game in and game out that they deserve to be there. And I think that's the biggest thing about whether or not there'll be a comeback. I've read people saying that this is the spot for the first ever comeback from 3-0.
Yeah.
I just, Tatum is not Mamba. In saying that, I don't know if I want to get involved here. Let's discuss this total. What do you think about this total going from 214.5 to 217.5 when, Game 3 was not going over if the lineups had stayed in? The reserves came on and went bananas. What do you think of this move from 214.5 to 217.5, Wham?
Yeah, I don't think they're scoring 39, 35 in the fourth quarter today. It's going to be more so sad boy news, man, in the second half. I think you're right. I expect this to be an under. Yeah, you said it too, bro. Like the game, I mean, it's been going over every game so far this series, 3 games. But the only thing that I key in here on is I think there's going to be more so a defensive game. And if the Celtics have any pride, like they're saying in the chat, they got to play defense, bro. They got to stop these guys from shooting threes. So I don't think it's going to happen today. So I think if you're going to get an under with the way I'm thinking, it's going to be mostly team total under for that Celtics team because they're not going to be able to outshoot this Heat team with they already shown. So either way, each team has to win. It's going to go under, in my opinion. If the way I'm seeing the script, I see if the Celtics are winning, they're going to have to hold these guys from lower than 40% from 3. And the Heat, I think they're going to continue to stomp. It's not going to be a track meet with both teams. It's just going to be them stomping here, being demoralized. It's the last game, Celtics 5. So I like the under here. I haven't bet that yet, but that's the way I would lean to.
Pete, is there anything you're making official here for this one?
I'm going to pass now. I'm going to pass. Just listening to what everyone is saying, this might be the coach. It's just wrap it up time for Boston, and they might be like, all right, we're going to get swept. That's fine. Yeah, I'm going to pass. Free play, I'd put it on Boston first half, but pass.
Free play on the total. It's gone from 214.5 to 217.5. 12% of tickets are on the under, but 46% of cash. The market seems to be welcoming under cash. What would you do, Pete?
I would take I'd take the under.
Yeah, if this was just a regular old game, I would be saying, oh, there's going to be regression to the mean. I just don't know if we can do that now. Let's get Jose Bouquet back up here and put a bow on this breakdown. We have Kong's clips on the Celtics -5.5 at +196. We have BJ's best bet Celtics money line +105, putting 4 units on it. Loshak's on the Celtics first half -0.5, while Wham is on the Heat. It's
no.
-0.5.
When did I say that? I said that.
No, you did not move on the Celtics first half -0.5.
No. I was just thinking about it before I heard what everyone had to say. No, I'm off.
I just
I'm
asked
off.
you what you're making official. Sorry, I was just reading on my notes. My bad.
Oh,
but I'm
sorry
happy I
about
did that to take that off. Wham's on the Heat money line. Jose, what do you think about this total? And why don't you give us the closing thoughts without comparing it to baseball?
Sure, of course not. Celtics, they're an interesting group, and I can't argue with all of the softness comments. Preston Ekdahl, who fucking talked about the Celtics every fucking day of the week, and I told him specifically the Celtics were not going to win the championship. I thought the Bucks were going to win the championship this year. And for fucking weeks, this guy told me, the Celtics, dude, the Celtics. Well, they are, in fact, a soft sponge. But guess what, damn it? When you're down 3-0, nothing matters anymore. These guys are going to play loose. Joe Mazzulla's already fired. Joe Mazzulla doesn't give a fuck. He's watched the town for fucking a month straight. And now he finally switched the fucking movies to 4 days in October. And it's great. Celtics win this game. I expect it to be a lower scoring game as well because, like Wham says, these assholes need to play defense. We need some backbone, and we need Grant Williams to shut his big fucking stupid mouth as well. We hit him to shut up.
Talk up, my boy. Talk up, please.
No, but if Boston really is like they're done, then they won't D-up.
They're not done, Pete. That's the thing. Again. Don't let us win tonight. Because we win tonight, that fucking Mo, Pete. Mo's a fucking dangerous thing. And when Mo's on our side, watch the fuck out. Total under. Celtics win this series. And of course, by the way, I'm betting them every game too, as well as the series. Do I like betting the NBA? No. Do I watch these basketball games? Fuck no. Do you think I'm going to watch these games? No, I'll be watching the fucking Boston Red Sox win their baseball game this year. But
I got one question for you too, Jose, before you finish that. My fault, bro.
No, I believe, Wham. Go ahead. I believe in this fucking team. We're going to come back and win this series, damn it.
Don't you believe? Do you believe that the NBA wants you guys to win? Do you believe that the NBA wants you guys to win?
Well, unfortunately, Wham, my script got sent to the wrong place. You know, I guess it was just a draft of the script. and my script said that the Nuggets and Lakers would actually be a fucking good series and a nice, competitive series. That got thrown out the window. I said the Nuggets were going to beat the Lakers.
Competitive. It's just they lost every game.
Oh, yeah, sure. Just as competitive as the Celtics, yes.
Right.
But here's the thing, Wham. I think the NBA realizes that they've fucked up. They can't move the finals games up. And their first finals game's like June 9th. What the fuck are we supposed to do? Fucking play with our dicks this whole time? No. Adam Silver with Bob Iger last time out with the fucking Lakers game. They're chatting up. They're like, hey, man, we need to extend this fucking series, dude, because we ain't got nothing left to program. You're going to make us put Stephen A. Smith and Mike Greenberg on the fucking channel for 7 more hours? We need live sports. And Bob Iger made the call, and the Celtics are going to make the call today and win this fucking game.
So I brought that up because they got your boy, number 48, the great 48, coming on down there to South Beach. My guy, my brother, my godfather, Scott Foster. That's the reason why I'm on the Heat, bro. I think he's the executioner tonight, not the extinguisher, not the extender, the executioner. That's what I'm thinking here, man.
Well, I'll tell you, he didn't extend the series for LeBron and co because LeBron fucking ran his ass over in the middle of the game. And he was like, fuck that. Why would I help your ass now? My lip's bleeding now. So he's going to help us out. Throw us a bone, Scott.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you though. I do want more NBA coops because we're gonna have to talk about LeBron return for a whole fucking week before the finals. So
Of course, he fucking says that. He's a fucking narcissist that needs everything to be about him. What a fucking loser that guy is. Oh my god.
Yeah, huge loser.
Fucking
Dennis
yeah,
Garcia says this game is really simple. Got Miami money line plus 160 in game 3. Now you want me to lay minus 120? Says fuck that. Give me Boston. So this will be the first time all playoffs that he's been betting against the Heat. Remember the Heat, Dennis told us that this series was very simple. Beginning of the series, he said bet Miami Heat money line every game.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
So now he's going to have to flip because of the market, and I get it. Nate Dogg is going over 216.5 for this one. This is going to be wild. And Jose, you make it more fun for all of us. So is anybody going to be able to watch you watching this game? Is there?
I'm not going to watch this fucking game. I said I didn't watch game 3. I didn't watch a second of game 3. Not one fucking second. I looked at the first quarter score. I was like, all right, I'm good here. I'm set. I didn't watch that game. I'm not going to watch this game. I have baseball to watch. Basketball is the worst fucking sport to bet on. It's the worst fucking sport to watch, and I refuse.
Okay.
I refuse. But Jokic is going to win the title, like has been said on this fucking program by me several times already. This fucking guy, he's a beast. Put LeBron in his fucking place.
There you have it. We have many Celtics backers. We have Wham on the Heat money line. And Kong's Clips alternate lining this to minus 5.5 at plus 196. I have interest in the under, but I'm going to need to watch what this market does, because if it keeps going up, then I'm not going to. Like if we see a 218.5 next, then
NBA
obviously
market moves are fucked too.
The totals though aren't nearly as fucked as the sides, in my estimation.
Sure.
But all right, there you have it. That is game 4 of the Eastern Conference Finals. And I have my futures to save all of the mistakes I made on futures on the Nuggets to win the championship. So, we'll see. I feel like they're a juggernaut, but I don't want to be sitting here like underestimating the Heat, which is something that I've done all playoffs long.
Right.
So, Charlie Chip says this game won't go over 199.
That's how I feel too.
That would be lovely, Charlie.
I mean, I was thinking about the first half under, which is kind of obvious, I guess, if you think that Boston's really going to come in and try to, not get swept.
I think it'll be a low scoring game too. So I expect the first half under, but I don't do math. So
I mean, is Boston going to try to not get swept by coming in and really trying, or are they going to chuck up a bunch of threes and hope they hit 70% and then try to get it in the which is more likely strategically?
What is the market saying? Because I'm seeing 105.5.
Yeah, a low first half total.
It's juiced to the over at minus 129 at Bet Online. It's kind of
106.5 at Heritage. All right, I'll take that. I think I might take. Let me see. Yeah, minus 106.5 at. All right, you can throw that one on for me, Jimmy the Bag. First half under 106.5, minus 105. Current line at Pinnacle.
beautiful.
Loshak is on. I just keep getting flashbacks to that fourth quarter. Okay, under 106.5.
Minus 105. Current line at Pinnacle.
You got it. You got it locked in. Oh, man. And Jay's final take says, if you like Boston, it's early, period. By the way, Mike M says, if you can bet AHL hockey, it's a Rochester Americans kind of night.
Fuck yeah.
Rochester minus 105. Wham Bam, thank you so much for joining us on Tuesdays here all year long. We've absolutely loved it. You're a class act and a great friend and a great capper. Thank you for running with us. Where can we find you? You got Who Bangin' stuff popping off. Where can we find you if we want more Wham Bam 3030?
Yeah, man. Who Bangin' Sports Talk. Catch me there. Then, you'll catch me here throughout the play. I'll be on this sesh with Dutch on Monday as well. This coming up. But, yeah, man, we'll be back here again. NBA Pub next season, bro. So you already know, man. Shout out to Noli knows. He said, "What's next for our guy?" Well, man, I'm everywhere, bro. You already know. JPZ, Bo Jackson. Shout out to Pete. It's been very pleasure of working with you all year. Jose, of course, my man, and Jimmy the Bag. You already know, brother. Can't wait, man. Till next year, bro.
Love it. Respect. There he is. Wham Bam 30-30. That is
our
our
better than Daryl.
Say what?
I like Wham better than Daryl. He's a Lakers fan that I actually like compared to Daryl.
Let's review all action here. All action. Pete Loshak's on Dallas first period at -132 and first period goal, yes, for Dallas at -170. I just I just don't want to be sitting here on the side that now 96%. Now we're back at 96% of cash. Like I would rather leave money on the table than lose with 96% of the cash. And if they lose, then my futures are gone. And look, and if they win tonight and win the first period and win the game 5-1, then I'll go back to saying, okay, I shouldn't care about NHL cash situations. In MLB, Guardians money line for Jose and Guardians -1. Gamblers first glance, Guardians -124, and I will be betting the Guardians and making it official as soon as this show's over. I have some interest in the Pirates, but I'm probably going to stay off. Loshak's on Philadelphia, first 5 team total over 2.5. I'm going to be on the first 5 over 5.5. I expect, and I have interest in the Reds first 5 in St. Louis, Cincinnati. Lamont Williams max bet Toronto, Tampa full game over, but we are off of it. Pete's on the Orioles +1 at +101. I'm going to be on the full game under San Diego, Washington. Dodgers Braves, we stayed off. I have a great interest in the Tigers Royals first 5 over. See if I can get to that. Jose's tripling up on the Astros. First 5, full game and full game -1. We are off that, but we were all on the Cubs first 5, a couple on the full game. Then Loshak's on the Giants -1 at +184. Matty Ice Taint play today. Marlins first 5 -0.5. Loshak's on the Marlins team total over 5.5. And I'm going to be on overs. I just don't know if I'll be on the full game as well. And I've got to see what BetOnline's offering me for the first 5 over, because the first 5 over 6.5, so +105 at Bet365, and I'd rather the 6 be a push. Jose's on the Red Sox -108. Ron Crawford spreadsheet play days on the Red Sox, and Loshak, yes, run first inning at -130. Then I'm going to be for sure on the under in Oakland, Seattle, and quite possibly on the first 5 under as well. That's going to take a little bit more study, but that's what I expect. Corey Allen dropping a little WNBA action. We are going to start moving forward on WNBA action here as hockey and NBA die down. That's not quite happened yet. And then we must end the show with a very, very important spot here for you, Pistol Pete, because we love Mike M very, very much. Stakes are high.
I thought I was gonna maybe get to give him a pick tomorrow in a special video, but that's all right. Mike M, birthday pick for Mike M. I would love to take Dallas. I would love to just take Dallas first period goal -170. That is the biggest favorite line out of all the picks that I did today. And I mean, they should be able to. But what's going on with that Vegas?
Mike M wants the special video, man. Mike M wants it tomorrow.
Oh, he wants it tomorrow.
Yeah, he wants a special video tomorrow.
Oh, but then if I could get out of it just by throwing something out there right now.
No.
Well, you promised the rooftops, Pete. We need it
for that.
All right, Mike M deserves it. He really does.
He does.
He really does. For a guy like that who contributes so much, he really fucking does. All right, special video tomorrow for you for your actual birthday, Mike M.
I love it. Thank you all in the chat for everything. I feel much better. A really tough 24 hours, so I'm really thankful to be back running with you guys. We'll be here all week rocking. Jose, who is your guest for Say Hey Plays of the Day?
Bobano joins me today. Lovely Tuesday with Bobano. It's going to be a whole lot of fun talking baseball with him, and I will be much more calm and composed during baseball as well.
I love it. Great job, Jose, producing the show as always. Pete, it is such an honor and pleasure to rock with you on Tuesdays. And Nate Dogg 420, Real Deal Prime, Mike M, Corey Allen, Grit and Grind, Piker, Bo Jackson, Subhuman, Gaucho. Mike M, have a wonderful birthday tomorrow. You are a great friend to all of us. We love you dearly. Jonathan Muniz, North Ender, Vitalis, Noli Knows, Jay Peasy. Tell me you didn't just say that. Jay's Final Take, Archie 20, Harold Williams, 719 Gamble Guy, Charlie Chips rock with us all show long. Troy Torrance, thank you guys so much. Alfred 44, Dennis Garcia, all of you, thank you. Rants, thank you. Spenny Penny Bombs. Now let's go out there and get that cash. Parlangel, AOD, Billy Friedrich, thank you guys. Now let's go out there and get the fucking money and get excited about Pistol Pete's video tomorrow. So let's go out there and milk it. Leche! Hey, Los Bookmakers,